I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over air. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over air. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the date done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right. Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel, people. I am Man, and this is I Am Sure Sports. How are you doing on this Monday morning? Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Yes, and you are filled with excitement for this new week that is ahead of you. Hey, let me give you a reason that you must be extremely delighted, right? Be extremely delighted because you have life and you have that life more abundantly. You're alive. So you have to give thanks. You understand me? You have to give thanks and you have to be grateful for the life that you have. You have to give thanks for that and, continue to trust and believe that one day things must get better. You understand me? Have that hope, have that belief, and work towards it. All right. So that's my encouragement to you. All right. Today. All right. We have a few stories to get into, and I'm going to, man. I'm going to share with you some good stuff going on with the football. I think you're going to want to know about them. So get ready and join the platform. Big up man like King Jav already on the platform. If this is your first time, welcome. As usual, we ask you to like, share, and subscribe to I Am Sure Sports. Here it is. I want to say also big up to the masters at Constant Spring. Constant Spring. Big up all of the Constant Spring men. Constant Spring is the king of the masters. People, Constant Spring is the king of the masters competition. Big up Fabian, Watkins, and the entire Constant Spring. Jingo. Say you're bingo. You win the trophy. Chippy. Unit. 60. The rest of the man them. Big up on yourself. Constant Spring, the king of masters. All right. Bless up. Sir Richie. Blessed love. Sir Richie, say, me have some concerns about Mannings. May I tell you. but still I hold on to my blue blood. But there are two key players that if we had them, I'm telling you, we would win the Costa Cup and would go to the final of I believe, the Champions Cup. I'm telling you. But these two players, I'm telling you, people are sometimes more concerned about achieving their personal objectives, vendetta, expressing their vindictive nature more than looking at the well-being of our young men in this country. I use this opportunity to take a minute. People, bear with me. Hit the like button. We need to start treating our young men better. Talking from schools to parents, everywhere. We have to deal with them. We discipline boys different from girls. We speak to them different. We set different expectations. Talking from in the home. And we're creating a new culture where our young men have no respect because they have not been dealt with respect. If we want to change what is going on in society, we need to start from the grassroots. Start get the practices right. Some man in Zambia, but any individual who, because of his own personal scars, damage, wounds, whatever you want to call it, exercise any measure to jeopardize possible outcome in a positive way for young people. I have a problem with people like that, adults like that, who for the most part have gotten their education, deprive others of the opportunity to enhance their lives, their communities, their families, and the nation. I have a problem with that. All right? So I needed to address that. So we need to start treating people right. All right? We need to start dealing with our young men better. That is why we're having these problems in our society. Richie, you hear what this man named Tuffy Rudy said? Let me just put up this, because this brother here named Tuffy Rudy, Dre, what Woolmans are going with, Dre? Big up before the game. Trinidad and Tobago in the building. Yeah, the man said Mannings, even if Mannings get Whisper and Duffy, it's a 1% chance of winning the Costa Cup. In order to win, they have to beat Clarendon at some point. Is Tuffy Rudy the person who says, if Mannings beat Clarendon, he's going to rent the house and give me the money? How long are you going to rent the house, sir? So we can start calculating how much money I'm going to rent the house, sir. I need to start calculating how much money I'm going to earn monthly, Eh? So talk to me. How much you're renting it for and how long you're renting it for? I don't want you to live on the street, so I need to know where you're going to live when you rent the house. Because that bet that you have going to put you in some serious problems. All right, so be careful. But big up to the sponsors of this video. The sponsors are Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when they need it the most. Prestige Finance is located in Linstead, St. Catherine, and they're offering loans of up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars. You can call Prestige Finance at 876-884-7390. And also want to thank Launch Legacy, where they handle risk and they seek legacy. So for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA, visit them at launchlegacy.com or call or text them at 647-989-0782. When you stop working for money, Launch Legacy will get your money to start working for you. Yeah. Cowboys and hey, Jamie, I ask about Woolmans. What you tell me about Cowboys? Woolmans, what you talk about? Woolmans. All right. So bless up one and all. All right. So big up Mr. Wayne Shaw and the team up there at Kasafa. They completed their Champions League the Championship League, and they also completed their Major League. All right, the two winners are Real Mona and Marvelly Huende. All right, those are the winners of the Kasafa competition. So let me tell you how everything kind of panned out. I must say, Kasafa and Mr. Winshaw, the group there, they were active on social media, did a lot of good work, and you were kept up to date with what is happening if you are a fan of local football. So to the administrators of these two Kasafa leagues, I must say kudos to you. All right. They had their fixtures up running, and weekly they sent out information. So if you weren't hearing it, it is because people did not want to cover it, but they were furnishing people with the requisite information concerning their competition. So they had the Championship League, and they also had the Major League. So Marvel, you and Real Mona were the winners, right? So the Championship League saw Real Mona defeating Med Forest by 1-0. The goal was scored by Gervan Brown in the 52nd minute. And so, of course, Med Forest finished second. Boys Town, Ryan, Boys Town finished in third place, and Barbican finished in fourth place. They had some referees that they also awarded. Damian Williams, Rolando Bennett, Ahara Headley, and Stefan Dewar. The leading goal scorers in the Championship League were Gervan Brown of Real Mona. He ended with 9 goals, and the best goalkeeper went to John Wilson, also of Real Mona. He had he was the best goalkeeper. Don't know many clean sheets. Look at this. The MVP was Gervan Brown from Real Mona. The best manager was Peter Moses of Real Mona. And the coach, the best coach, went to David Layla of Real Mona. All right. Over there in the Major League final, Marvelly UNDN 3, Mountain View 2. Look at these people. All right. So the goal scorers were Jeremy Anderson, Dwayne Chowers. I don't know if you know this name, right? Loxley Thompson, short man. Yeah, man. Still out there dropping it. Jamarly White and Nicholas Scott. Yeah. Mountain View, of course, finished second. New Kingston was third. Maxfield was fourth. The leading goal scorer was Romario Bryan of Marvelly. He scored 15 goals. And O'Neill Dunkley, yes, of Marvelly was the best goalkeeper. Loxley Thomas, short man, was the MVP. I'm a bridge, you know, that's don't know. All right, look at this. Wow. Richard Bryan of Marvelly FC, he was the best coach, right? And then Gary Mendez, I know him, Marvelly UNDN, he was the best manager. So congratulations to all the winners of the awards there. All right, now let's move over to some Reggae Girls news. All right, the Reggae Girls, the Jamaica Reggae Girls, they have just secured 2 friendly games in preparation for their World Cup campaign. All right, these games will be played in November, and Western Jamaica should be happy about this. All right, the first game will be staged at the Catherine Hall Stadium in Montego Bay, and this will be played on November the 10th. And the second game is set for the National Stadium 3 days after, on the 13th. This will be a FIFA match window, so all the players will be available. Listen, Jamaica, I am encouraging you, every single one of you, Jamaicans, all of you, everyone, person, male, female, boys and girls, go out and support the Reggae Girls. Buy some tickets. go to the games. Viewers and subscribers in the United States, if you want to support the women's program, then send some money to the vloggers so that they can purchase tickets and give away to fans to go and watch the games, right? So we can support the female program. Let's have full house at Catherine Hall, full house at the National Stadium. Let's go behind our girls. That don't sound good, right? Let's go support the girls. No front or behind, right? Just go and support our girls, all right? The 10th and the 30th. Get those young girls from the schools. Let's full the National Stadium. Let's pack it up, ram it up, and jam it up. And same thing over there at Catherine Hall. Like I said, all the players. You could see new players as well coming into the squad as Coach Lorne Donaldson and his team prepares us for the World Cup in Australia and in New Zealand. Yes, that's where it will be held. All right. So all the players will be there. So I think that is very, very, very important that we get games in. All right. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, you understand me? So let me hear what's going on. Ryan LFC, big up yourself. Yeah, the Manchester United fans are still in self-imposed exile after the walloping that they got from City. But hey, love, one and all, man, our day at Arsenal ain't coming, so you won't get to laugh at me. I'm telling you. Yeah, you know. Big up Liverpool. Surrey Harbourview youngsters, including the captain of Camperdown, executed their game plans to perfection. Camperdown executed. I don't, Dre, what you talking about? This one says, big up Kirk Rowe. Good look for the Reggae Girls. Hopefully the fans come out and support them. I'm still disappointed that they let the October window miss. Well, they got 2 games here, and they just played a game outside of the window, you know, in September. So come on, they got some games, man. I know the disappointment, but they're getting games in. So big up Coach Lorne Donaldson and the managers and organizers of the Reggae Girls program who continue to secure good friendlies for our team. I think this is a very important game, right? Because you must also remember that we have the right, Jamaica qualified for the, let me just read this. Jamaica qualified for their 2nd consecutive FIFA World Cup tournament last July in Mexico, while Paraguay finished 4th in the South American women qualifier in August. So this is not a monkey team, right? They're a good team. While Coach Lorne Donaldson and his staff will be using these games to fine-tune his team for the big dance in New Zealand and Australia next July, the South Americans are desperate to sharpen for their FIFA Intercontinental playoffs in New Zealand come February 22. 3 teams will qualify from the 10 down to take part. 29 teams have already qualified for the Women's World Cup finals. All right. Awesome. All right. So also want to add to that information came out that the Jamaica Football Federation, yes, could be and should be hiring or engaging a new general secretary in short order. All right, I'm going to read the article. It says, expect new JFF GenSec in a matter of days. And this came out yesterday. It says, after 5 months without any real news about the status of Jamaica's Football Federation, General Secretary Dalton with the saga may be reaching its end game. JFF President Michael Ricketts disclosed that the position of the General Secretary would be filled eminently, right, bringing an end to the tenure of a man who had signaled his intent to resign in June. I like this article. It said signal his intent. It means that he has not resigned. People, listen. Bringing an end to the tenure of a man who had signaled his intent to resign in June. Do you hear what these people put in the newspaper? He signaled his intent to resign. Does it categorically say he has resigned? Nada. He signaled his intent in a letter. But did he? Moving right along. It's interesting when you read articles and look at phrases and words that they use. Wint promised to resign came after the Reggae Boys threatened to boycott a CONCACAF Nation League fixture against Suriname in that country because of uncertain travel arrangements. Those uncertainties resulted in the team's late arrival to Jamaica for the return leg encounter a few days later. Ricketts was brief in addressing the situation, electing not to give further details on how the resignation process with Wint would be resolved. People, you get the answer? The resignation situation has not been resolved. He has not resigned. Right. And saying he would need some time before he could address what? The intended resignation. There will be a new, so it goes on and said, this is a quote from Mr. Ricketts, there will be a new general secretary in a few days, but I can't speak on that publicly yet. Ricketts, you get the drift, Coach Ritzy. You get the drift. Right? You get the drift. Yes, working from home, sweet home. All right. While Wint had indicated, you see all these words, people, these words are serious stuff. While Wint had indicated that he would step down from the post, he indicated the matter of compensation is still yet to be finalized. In a Gleaner report in June, a special executive meeting was held in order to complete the process of Wint's resignation. However, Wint did not send this is a joke, an official letter as he was awaiting guarantees regarding his exit. The main obstacle is the demand to be paid his full salary up to the end of his contract in December 2023. So the Gleaner understands, while there are efforts to agree to an amicable severance package for Wint, there is little room for a middle ground in the proceedings with either resignation or termination. I thought he had resigned. Resignation or termination. The paths forward to resolve the issue. A source familiar with the situation said that whatever the final outcome of the negotiations, the JFF has to move forward with a new general secretary. Yo, you. Yo. You tell me, no. You tell me. No, come on, no. Seriously, no. You tell me. I have to laugh. I can't do anything but laugh. People, it's not fake news. I'm just reading a newspaper article. That's what's in the newspaper. But this is a joke. Indeed, it is spooky, Jason. Indeed, it is spooky. So the truth is, Mr. Wint, up to this point, has not resigned officially. Secondly, how are they going to hire a new general secretary if the former general secretary is still in the post? How does that work? So will there be dual payment of salaries? All right, that's number one. Will they be paying the former general secretary as well as new general secretary? Number two, if they hire a new one, it would mean that they have made arrangements, either paying monthly, quarterly, the rest of money owed, or in lump sums, one major or one big payout, monies that are owing to Dalton Wind. If that is the case, right? Because remember, the issue they are having, one of the major issue is the compensation. The article said that. So if I am Mr. Wind, big up Mr. Wind wherever you are. If I'm Mr. Wind and I read that you're planning on hiring somebody, but you can't compensate me for forcing me to resign, asking me to resign, then how is this going to work? How then are you finding money to pay someone new when you can't pay me? Don't you see something is wrong with this? Unless the new person is coming on strictly in a volunteer position without compensation. It's not management. So don't bother think a management. It's not management. So I need somebody to help me to understand. How do you hire a new general secretary when the old general secretary is still employed? But Coach Mindy, understand that he's working from home. So in a few days, what are we going to have? 2 general secretaries? Because he said there will be the announcement or the employing of a new general secretary in days. So Coach Mindy, my question is, does that mean there will be 2 general secretaries operating at the same time? Or are we to believe that in a few days, Mr. Wint would have resigned and he would have been fully compensated? Like I said, he will be monthly compensated, or he will be compensated in a couple of parts. How does it work? How does that work? Just really think about it. He wants to know. Hey, maybe Neil, explain. Somebody please explain to me how this works. How do you have a person operating in the position and employ somebody else in it? Do you keep them both? Do you pay off the first person? And if you pay off the first person, the statements that you have just revealed, the financial statements, suggest that it's not that you got broke, but you have been broke. So where would the additional resources come to pay the new person if you have paid off the old person? And remember that I'm just a vlogger. I'm just a vlogger, an ordinary local vlogger who pick up a microphone, a little laptop, and put a Jamaica flag behind him. I don't see well. So how does it work? Big up Stickman in the building. Maybe Neo can help me, because as a practicing attorney, he may be able to give me some good advice. Coach Mindy said, don't ask me that. But who can I ask? Who can I ask? I would Yeah, people. Hey, yo. Well, welcome back. Whoa. Hey, people, listen. Hey, you guys. Yeah, people. Hey, you guys gonna have to help me. You guys gonna have to help me, right? You gonna have to help me to get one of them standby. What they call it? Standby generator. Yeah. You're gonna have to get a standby generator. You understand me? Because anytime the show get nice, man, I tell you, me get disconnected. A piece of thunder and lightning link right along with our tools. Yeah, too long, because me, I tell you, them breed and lightning and thunder, we are roll and flash, no ordinary. Hey, you know that the person in this chat, you see this person, people, me call them out. You know this, I'm going to tell you a secret. You see this person right here, he works for the Jamaica Public Service Company. This person right here. Not only that, he works in the ear of the Jamaica Public Service Company that disconnect or reconnect light. That is his primary job, I know it. And you know, I'm not going to tell you, but I call somebody name. And he works very close. But if my virgin still, if I'm going to do that. Big up Stick, man. I think the reason why he can't make an official announcement is because they are in the process of signing off on all payments with which financial agreement has been met. Why is the word imminent? No, all right. But there are two things though, Toughy Rudy. What is imminent? Because he said in days. When I say days, you're not talking about weeks now, because you could say weeks. So in days, I'm expecting that by the end of this week, something is going to be announced. Because if it were weeks, then you would have said weeks. Yeah, you understand me? You'd have said weeks. You said days. So it is suggesting that you're going to do it in you understand me? In days. But there is a plan, I would just love to speak to someone about it. I don't know. To kind of get some clarity as to how this whole thing is going to work out. But the article that was written puts a lot of things in there for you to question. Like I said, if they are still negotiating the finalizing of the contract or the closing out of that contract, how then can they be at the same time saying that in days, they are going to do it? But you know what I can do? I'm going to see if I can get Mr. Rudolph Speed. I don't know if he can answer on this matter. You understand me? One thing with Mr. Speed, when I say JFF, I didn't call his name, people. Saying, come on and say, man, his man call him name this time. Because I did not say Speed. All right? So, but Mr. Speed is going to be coming on to help me out. So, and kind of help us to understand this, right? Yeah. Maybe he's maybe he's on notice. His position will be eliminated pending the hiring of a new genset, and he's working per diem until that time. It is possible, but that's not what been stated. That's what I'm saying. Unless the report is wrong, which could be true. Yeah. Jason, they need a Delco. Hey, people, give me some super chats, no matter some super sticker. We need a Delco. Hey, a long time when I hear the name there, Delco, He wants to connect. Coach means you may connect to the sun in the rain. Hey, people, send some super chat and some super sticker. We need to get a Delco. But we have the very financially astute Mr. Rudolph Speed, who is going to come on and talk to us on this matter. He's wearing one of those expensive shirts. You saw the brand on it. It says Speed. And that's the Mr. Speed. Good to have you, sir. It has been a while. You have been, I don't know, the people probably curse you off too much. You decide that you're going to take a break from social media. We haven't seen you on for a while.
Nah, man, I was busy doing negotiation for the betterment of the game. I had negotiation, we employ new coaches, new assistant coach, new under 20 male coach, coaches for the
What?
female
New under 20 male coach? I didn't hear that one. People didn't. I didn't know that.
Coaches for the female coaches and the technical staff. We have to be negotiating contracts. So we have to be looking for a new Gen Sec. So busy time. You know?
Looking for a new Gen Sec. No, man, the presidency, a new Gen Sec has been found.
Then when I was looking, before it was found.
Oh! I get it. But no, hold on. We have to slow it down. So tell me, who is the new? Who is it? Can you announce? Because the presidency couldn't announce the Gen Sec. Can you announce who the new under 20 coach is?
No, it's a president thing. We only do the work the president.
But there's a new under 20 coach.
Looking at new everything. We're stepping up.
No, man. You know what you said? Unless you slip, you know. You said that.
I just want you guys to understand that we're stepping up. That's all.
No, man, I understand that you're stepping up, but I just want you to repeat what you said. You understand me?
I didn't stammer. I didn't repeat anything.
But you can't tell us the name of the new under 20 coach. But there's a new under 20 coach.
I'm not telling you.
All right. Okay. So there you go. So people, new announcement, new under 20 coach. But will the former coach be a part of the coaching staff for the under 20?
We're not leaving out with local coaches. We need them to improve.
Okay. So like, all right, help us with this. I don't know if you saw the article that was in the Sunday Gleaner, where the president, I don't know where he was, but he was questioned about the general secretary, and he basically said in days a new general secretary will be announced, but he was not able to speak on the Dalton Wind situation at this time. He said he wasn't able to speak on the public. That is what he was quoted in the article. It's saying, right? So we have our.
Well, it's not able. He didn't want to. There's a difference.
Okay, so the newspaper article is not accurately expressing what the president was saying.
I don't know what they heard. I'm just saying that the president can always speak to things, but you have to realize that some of the time it's not in the best interest of anybody to say certain things. And you have to understand it.
All right, I understand. So the issue though, and this is, let me just ask you a couple of the questions we have. Let me just take this one from, Mr. Welcome, Mr. Speed. He says, thanks for showing up on these programs and thanks for all you have been doing. Lots of respect. JFF and you get enough beating. Some deserve it and some don't. So, some commendations here, which is true. You always turn up no matter how hot the fire is burning on these platforms. But the question I have is number one: how do you state that in days you'll be engaging or employing a new general secretary, while in the same article it is saying that the deal with the former general secretary, there is no official resignation. So how do you engage someone?
Well, it's two different things. That remember, our governing body don't joke with two positions. You must have a Gen Sec and you must have a president. They don't joke with those two positions. So
which is FIFA is the governing body, right?
Yes, we can't leave those positions unfilled for too long. There's always a time where you have to fill these positions. So because there was not a functioning general secretary, there's a lot of business to be done. Definitely we have to put one in place. Whatever damage has been done before, it has already been done with the prior general secretary. So that whole cleaning up that side of the business is different from appointing someone new. We just cannot afford to function anymore without somebody in place.
Yeah, but they're connected. All right, so let's use.
No, they're not. One of them is clearly a matter of compensation because he's no longer in the post. Whether he resigned or not, there is he is not acting in the post now.
So one is for a person to act in the post. The other one is for a person to be compensated while they were acting in the post.
Right. So one is a compensating issue, and one is that we must have one. So it's two different in my mind.
All right. Two different issues, but if the original issue was an inability to compensate the first person, how are we going to engage a new person and compensate them? Because remember,
I don't know if you are correct to say that. Because
let me tell you where that came from. That came from when the initial resignation argument came up, it was stated that his contract, the former Jensen contract, ended up until December 2023. That was the matter when the president
hearing you. So it look like Manning's man is off. So it's look I'm the host of the show now.
Hey! No. No. You have to left country, bro. No. Listen, hey, it's a lot. Oh, so Mr. Speed.
Or
Speed. Wait, yeah, the power cut, Mr. Speed. Alright. Oh. People, listen. Hey, that's some serious thing. It's some serious thing. It's up to Mr. Speed, man. But I'm going to where's Tiga? Tiga still come up, but we're gonna finish it up. So wait until Mr. Speed come off the call. We can we can continue. Boy, I am telling you, that's some serious lightning and thunder. Brimstone and fire. Duckland, don't laugh again, Duckland, do not laugh, because if you do, you may be having some problems, Duckland. Yeah, what was Mr. Speed saying? Because I need him to explain that whole situation. How do you engage both persons at the same time? Yeah, I know, Nia, you were saying something that I'd love to ask him about as well, because I know he said that one is a employment issue, one is a compensation issue, but both, in my opinion, are related, because the first person, there was an issue. There's an issue with having the money to pay Mr. Wind. That is why it has prolonged. So how are you going to pay the new person? Where will the resources be coming from? Which is what I really want to ask Mr. Speed about. Where will the resources be coming from to pay the new person? If the person who was in it, the whole contract situation has prolonged because there wasn't money there to compensate it. Because we must admit that if there was money available, he would have been compensated already. And from the financial statements that we saw, there is no money available. Now, I don't know if you saw it, any of you saw it, but you couldn't even tell from it, what the General Secretary gets. So these are some of the things that Mr. Speed need to come and respond to and give us, give us word on these things, because they are very important to the discussion that we are having. But seriously, I am going to get, you know what I'm going to get? You need to get one of those. No, but what I'm saying, but they all right, I think Mr. Speed is ready. You ready again, Mr. Speed? Because there
yes, sir.
Oh, you just cut off the thing, man. Shall go and run the show, man.
I couldn't pick up the comments, then that's why I did just.
You're okay.
So I was on my phone. I was on my phone. So I switched to my computer.
Yeah, man, you have to do that so you can pick up the comments. All right. So let's go back. I was saying, right, that though one is compensation and one is filling up work, both persons require compensation, because money has to be paid to the former person, because when the initial statement came out, the reason why it has prolonged is because the JFF admitted to not being able to pay the money. So if you employ somebody, how do you pay off the person and pay the new person for doing the job? So that is the big question. When you just put out, well, congratulations, you put out some financial statement. But I must say, it shows that the organization has no money, man. That is what I saw. Maybe I'm not seeing so well.
Well, I mean, you have to put everything into perspective. The organization is really supposed to break even. Once you do break even, you have run a good organization like ours. It's not really there to make a profit as such. It's there for development. Whatever money you make surplus is, you spend it on development. So once we make a little bit of surplus, is a good thing in our case, because remember we're carrying a deficit from the previous administration. So, you know, somebody have to pay for it. So a little surplus help you along that line. And reorganization of your finances does help. And I think the finance people has done a good job bringing down the debt by about half what it was before. And still managed to make out, you know, and then they made a profit, you know, and then do them reorganization. So I think manage the cash flow as well as they could. So there's something to be commended. It is something good that has been that is done financially from the JFF point of view.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. You know. All right, I agree that like a lot of people have been saying, we're the financials. The good thing is that, like I said, you provided something. So the fact that you did that, yeah.
Audited financial statements. A little late, but better late than never.
All right, not a problem. So to the first question, how will you navigate paying off the old person and paying the new person when you're breaking even right now? Where will the resources come from between November and December? Because we know January, you know, there is some resources coming into the coffers of the JFF.
I didn't say we break even. As a matter of fact, I'm saying if you break even, you did well. You did well. But in our scenario, we did make a small profit for both years, both 2020 and 2021, of about 20 million combined. So there was a profit.
Okay, so there was a profit.
Yes.
Hey, listen, there's a gentleman called Cranky who said that the statement, when he goes through the statement, he sees differently. But he's not here today, so we won't go there. So you're saying basically there is enough money to pay off Mr. Wind and to pay the new person.
No, that's no, I'd never said that. That's like looking at it. Here. That's looking at it from a very localized way. Most business is much more complex than that. So what you work from is cash flow, right? And there's cash flow planning.
Yes.
So as I said before, if you have to settle with somebody, it don't mean you're going to pay them no either, you know.
There you go. No, that I understand. I understand. Because
So
you can defer it until January. That's what I'm saying.
No, it never say you have to pay them January either. And you don't know if the deal is going to be the person saying they don't bother want the money. You're just speculating. All of those things can happen. There's a lot of different scenarios where some persons are saying this should be the case, some persons are saying this should be the case.
Did you just say that person may not even want any money? If people is not me. It's not
I am just saying to you that there's a lot of different scenarios, and you're only looking at one.
Okay.
There's a lot of different scenarios in planning, especially financial planning. So if there could be a plan to pay January, it could be June, it could be next year, December. It could be a plan that when they negotiate, they come to some agreement that everybody can live with and settle. It's just that I am not here to tell you the details, because a lot of time when you ask questions, it don't help the situation to settle anything. It just inflames it. So I can't tell you any details. But I'm saying to you though, that the finance people, we have a finance committee, vibrant finance committee, and we have some finance people. And everything that we're doing now, they are checking and rechecking their numbers and ensuring that they can fulfill the obligations based on inflows and expected outflows next year.
Okay. All right. So T-Gat is here. T-Gat, before you come on, everybody, I don't know what about your volume, sir. One person said that he's at work, he cannot use his headphone, says asking you please to keep it. But T-Gat, I think he was asking some Cavaliers question. Go ahead, T-Gat.
Yeah, Mr. Smith, what go on?
Good.
Big up yourself, man, what go on?
I'm here, boss.
Yo, Jason, big up yourself. Boy, you're there on work and can't use your headphone. Jason, big up yourself. Yeah, man. I'm the next virgin there. Big up yourself. All right, Mr. Speed, what go on for the Cavaliers training now? Any new signing?
Well, we'll sign a few players, but as usual, some very young players. One Matthew Ellis. Want to know that name?
Yeah, man. We know Matthew Ellis, man, from over
Right.
Or
So
you are
that
talking
the farm ball in a Manning Cup right now. Sorry, that
No,
Cup
that
right
custom.
now.
No.
Yeah.
Well.
Anyway, I'm not going to. It's up. So we sign a few players, but basically we're not depending on signing players. We're going to our factory, so that's where we're going.
Yeah. Say hold on, Tigat. Say a coach means it. Bring Matty Elliott in football and train him down at McGrath. You didn't know that. Coach means it. You mean, man? Coach means it.
Thank you, Coach.
You collect your fee yet? Your development fee?
We don't know yet. He's not playing a match yet. We soon see how good he is.
One of your ball, let me see, gone at Mount Pleasant. Where was that?
None of my ball that can't go anywhere. Me transfer them.
It was at your place.
But you're not listening.
Mount Pleasant.
But you're not listening.
You go ahead.
Listen carefully. None of my ball that can't go nowhere. It must
Okay.
me transfer them.
Okay. All right, cool.
There's a big difference. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right.
If them could have go anywhere, King would have gone, Ming would have gone, Ling would have gone, Webster would have gone, Atkins would have gone, don't at the same place, right? But they all wanted those players.
Okay. But on the matter of King, right? He was drafted to play with the Reggae Boys versus Argentina, correct?
He was in the squad, yes.
Yeah, and why didn't he go again?
He didn't have a visa.
Why is that so, Mr. Speed?
Because we don't control the embassy and get a date for 2025.
No, Mr. Speed. Mr. Speed, now you have friends still, but that's a really poor excuse still, you know. No,
then
not
me get a date. Me get a date. Me get a date for 2023 May.
But Mr. Speed, all right, let's take JFF out of this. All right, we're gonna pause JFF out of this. This is your baller from your club, right? What if you had an overseas match with these ballers? How would these ballers travel to go to the US to play?
It was me and not the JFF who get the date for it.
Huh?
I was the one who sat down with King and got the date.
Right.
All
right, my point to me, track these potential footballers, right? These where you know can go somewhere. Is it like the club responsibility to secure visa for them, not before they even get called up because they know these are potential ballers can go in? Is it their duty like to try to secure visas for them?
So I'm going to tell you something because I know how you guys think. A lot of players who come to the club, some of them don't have birth paper.
So there's
a process. So the process is you have to get birth paper, then you get a passport before you can even apply for the visa.
Right.
You guys believe, say, all of these people come to the club have passport and then we just lazy. Nothing like
no. We don't believe that part there. The only part
what happened with King specifically, it was in the pandemic. So when you get a date for him and then give you 2 years time, what are you going to do? So what the JFF did was try to expedite it, and the day when him get, things never go right.
Okay, but
no, I think what Tigat is saying though, Mr. Speed, because remember, the King was supposed to play in the USA in the World Cup campaign. You remember that game?
Yeah, he got called to the squad from the game before that game.
Right, but it was a USA game he couldn't travel to because he didn't have a visa.
Yes, yeah, he didn't have a visa at the time, but it was in the middle of the pandemic too.
No man, that's not what I'm asking. What I want to find out is, because he was in the squad before that game, did he apply for the visa from that time?
Afterwards, we applied for it. Not the JFF. Myself and him sit down and apply for it.
No, man, fine. No, man, fine, man. I understand that you can do that. But here's the point that which Tigat is making. From the first time King played, probably the first half a season,
right,
we're big on him.
Right.
That this youth is the next big thing. Me and you talk about that. So
right.
what Tigat is saying, at that point, did the process start? Or are you saying that, well, you couldn't even get to the visa because you had to deal with birth certificate and you had to deal with passport?
I'm saying to you that when he played the first season when he played and got called to the national team, that was the pandemic was on us already, you know. That's the first, that's 2020. Sorry.
He didn't normally play
2021. Yes,
no,
it was
man.
2000.
No,
First time get called for Jamaica was 2021.
No, man. Yeah, man. No, man. I'm talking about Cavaliers, not Jamaica. I'm saying that when
forget about Cavaliers. Forget about Jamaica. Right.
Right. When he played for Cavalier, 2000.
Me and you talk. What I'm saying
Yes,
to you, me
2000. Well, no. That was when he played first with Cavalier was 2021.
No, Mr. Speed. King.
I win.
2021.
Yes.
So hold on. When?
Yes.
Hold on. What year are we in now?
22.
So one season King played the Cavaliers?
No, 2 seasons. Remember, I said the 21 season starting in June, you know. I'm finished sometime in August.
No, Mr. King. Mr. Speed.
21
King
season.
King played in the abbreviated season. The
You mean
season
the one
that ended, that Mount Pleasant was going to win.
No.
King was playing for Cavaliers. Yes.
No.
Well, we can't speak on that. That's between your minds. We can't. But my problem is this: from a potential baller dropping at the club, right? The club is to like talk to JFF and say, "This is a potential baller." Them look at him and them try to secure the relevant documents. If him get called up, say if him in at the pool at 300, you understand? All of that players can have the relevant passport and visa to leave. That is just my concern, you know, because we're above the Stone Age now. You understand? We're above the Stone Age, and your club is a big club. You win the Premier League, so you're entitled to play the Champion Leagues and stuff like that. So you're like supposed to have visa and passport because when I play the Champions League, I'm supposed to go play in the US. You understand? And the coaches them now, administration, go to JFF, get the relevant document and get the visa secure for all of the players them. We're not
JFF
all
cannot go get visa for people to play for club.
No, get the letters. Get the letters, the recommendation, reference.
Look here, man. This man, why you not stop talk like that? Because I tell you, the man played first for Cavalier in the Premier League 2021 in June.
No, Mr. Smith, I'm just talking generally. I'm not talking about Mr. I'm not talking about
Cavalier ever have issue with getting visa for players. We go everywhere with visa.
Man.
So what are you talking about?
No, but this is not the first time players been called up.
No, but what he's saying though, Tigat, is that they don't normally with Cavaliers player. This is the first one.
Okay. Yeah. But I'm not saying this is the first time for players. I'm not talking about take out Cavaliers players. I'm talking about general.
But Tigat, this is
other people player.
No man, this is tell me your next occasion where you know of a player who was supposed to go and never had visa. All him officer tell him say talk too loud, you know. No, but
my boss tell me something talk too loud when I scream.
Yeah. Everybody else said the same thing. See, next man said, next man have come on for the program because he said, you know what, they want people to fire you.
All right, I'm going to tone it down.
All right, but what I'm saying though is that have there been other occasions where players in Jamaica that you know of Tigat could not travel because they never had the requisite, they never had a passport?
Only for people that have.
Really? Recent?
Yes, because
this is the first probably high profile one
King is probably the most high profile and who have played probably 8 or 9 games already. But there's a lot of players. There was other players who were supposed to go in this squad when on a passport. There's never King, not a visa. It's not King alone.
In what squad?
This squad.
From Jamaica?
Yes. I just love talk about anybody have nothing to do with Speed. There was other players, but me not call any name either still.
Oh, you're talking about? No, Mr. Speed. You have to understand. Here's what.
There was other
you know
players.
What is the problem? Here's what is the problem. You see, maybe we need to start don't rate King.
Because the reason why this affect the fan base is because of how highly we rate King.
No.
You're not seeing it that way. You're seeing it like it's a Cavaliers problem. No, it's a King problem we have. we have said that right now in Jamaica, in terms of potential.
A Tiga na problem, man. My problem.
Right. My problem. So all right, Jason, I think used to work with the ministry. He said these things require the dialogue between the various Ministry of Sports and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Because I'm thinking, so fine, I understand that he never had it. How can a national player though, like King, in this situation? The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Sports should have come together to help this youngster, along with the GFF and his club, at the last minute, to help this player get the requisite documentation to go and play. I don't know if those persons were engaged, maybe they were, but there needs to be a collective effort because you never know. This guy could probably have gone there and become one of the biggest in terms of contract outside of Jamaica. You understand me? And I think that is where we have to look at it from. How can we collaborate with some of these government departments to ensure that we don't have a repeat of a situation like this for one of our top talent?
It was unfortunate, Brenner. It was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Because that is the issue we have. I don't know what the issue I have is that I think this would have been a very good showcase for him, in my opinion. Maybe that is not what I'm supposed to see.
The score would have been different.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm just saying, no, you take it too far right about that. You take it too far right about that.
No, man, the score would have been different.
All right. My next issue is I was reading something on Mr. Chung, where he was saying that the JFF make a surplus of 20 mil, but yet still them have the money. Can you explain that? Elaborate on that for me, please. Or can you make a surplus but get still have the money?
You didn't see the financial statement, Tiga.
Well,
I never see.
Man, I'm using man, but it's fine. Tiga, cash and profit are two different things. You don't need no more explanation. Cash.
Yeah, my money, the explanation, Mr. Speed. We are a partition for work.
Cash and profits is two different things. Let me explain. Yeah. If you buy a car for $100 and you sell it for $200, you make a profit of $100, right? Agree?
If you sell a car,
if you buy a car for $100 and sell it for $200, you make a profit of $100.
Yeah.
But you have $200 cash.
Yeah.
If the person never pay for the car, you still make the profit of $100, but you have zero cash.
Yeah.
Okay. So cash and profit is not the same.
All right. I understand the explanation. We are trying to figure out now how that tie up with how that connect with the 20 million.
Asked, how did the man make 20 million profit and do have no cash? And I'm explaining to him that cash and profit is not the same.
All right. So, do you have cash or profit, Mr. Speed, from the statement? Maybe that is a better question.
The statement
is there cash or is there profit from the statement?
$20 million profit, but remember, we had a liability, a deficit coming forward of almost 300 million. So if you didn't owe somebody and you get 300 million, you get 20 million, you even pay off, you still owe, you're not cash and you still owe 280 million.
I got
you. So you're making money.
You're making money, but yet still we have a deficit still a carry. Okay.
Right, so you have to, because you're servicing your debt, whatever profit you see gets eaten up by the debt. So you make profit, but you don't have any money.
Okay.
Plus, it could be that people owe you.
Plus, it could be, it could be that people owe you. So really and truly, what it is saying is that you're making profit, but you're broke.
Yeah.
It is not, I'm just leaving this one there. It is not the company that makes a loss close down first. It's the company that runs out of money. Money and profit or loss are two different things.
No, man, we understand.
For instance, you could have borrowed money and have a loan. You don't run out of cash if you borrow money. You still make a loss.
No, man, we understand the accounting.
Okay.
I understand the accounting concept, right?
Right, and it could like what TEDx Hope is saying, that it could be a cash flow problem as well.
Yeah, and you could not, right. You probably don't manage it. And that's why management of cash flow is a whole different topic. Or you manage your cash flow. Yes.
Yeah, and then Tuffy Rudy saying it that you could be making profit for the 2 years, but you're negative in net profit overall because really and truly
that's called accumulated profit. Yes,
accumulated profit because you're really servicing. So really and truly, I mean, the word may sound inappropriate, but it's really true that you're really broke.
Yeah.
Because the amount of profit you make
right,
it's not going to cancel your debt.
Not cancel. Yeah.
But no, you're really.
Yeah.
You're really
because,
broke.
You're right. Because
you have cash. Well, you have cash.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. All right, next thing, Mr. Speed. At the game.
You work at bank?
Yeah, but you see, we go
Mr. Speed. I don't know how the JFF is operating because if a man come out and say something, you understand, we can interpret it and say JFF broke because it come over and say they make profit. You understand? And me can interpret it what he's saying because I'm not looking at his financial statement. But anyway, we'll go past that. At the game, right? It was announced that the Reggae Boys will be played African country, Cameroon, I think it is, right? In November.
November the 9th.
Yeah, November the 9th.
And the Reggae Girls play on the 10th.
Right, but forget about that. The same time, we were interviewing the coach, and the question was posed to because we heard the match was being played before the coach even knew. When we said that to the coach, he was kind of shocked. You understand? So, are the games are playing without the knowledge of the coach, or something is happening? Something is not happening correctly.
Okay,
because the coach never know that he's going to play against Cameroon. Because we're asking that since his tender his coachingship start in January, if he's still going to be there in November to coach the Reggae Boys. And it was like, so our games being arranged without the coach knowledge.
So remember we engage a coach sometime in November, right? Sometime in November. Sorry, in September we engage a coach.
Yeah, last month, yeah.
Right. So we didn't stop the program. The program would have been ongoing. There is some countries that we would like to be like them that have matches planned for 2 years down the road. So that is where we want to be. That's what we want to be like. We plan matches ahead. So clearly there would have been decision taken before the coach arrived here. So clearly we would know about those.
But is it incumbent to you to tell the coach what is happening and what is the plan? Because look, fear enough, if the coach keep on playing these games and getting the result that not good, losing 2, 3, 4 matches, it will go against him. People out in the community are gonna say the coach are good. We need to get rid of it because they play 4 matches and lose and stuff like that. But yet still proper training facility, proper camp rather. Don't set up for the coach get to implement him system. Are we playing too much of a game before the coach can even settle in and find out in best team, in best 23?
So we just leave Jamaica for a while because we try to make Jamaica look like we're different from anybody else. In modern football, we're trying to go back to 98 when all the players was from Jamaica. In modern football, all of the good teams that you talk about, no coach get players for have training camp. No Brazil, no Argentina. The players accumulate at certain time, maybe match day -3, some match day -2, even as short as match day -2. Maybe if you're lucky, match day -4, and the coach have to work with that. Jamaica is no different. We can't have camps. We cannot
because
have
Coach
camps.
Minzy as well that I want.
We cannot have camps where we call everybody to Jamaica to come into a camp. It's not going to happen. Impossible. West Ham not going to release Antonio. Fulham not going to release Bobby Reed. They're not going to release their players to come to no camp in Jamaica. So I could take that out of our head from now. So every single coach have to learn to coach online, call players, talk to them, and bring the plan all together when they meet match day -3 or 2. That's what I feel. And as I said before, we planned these set of matches before the coach came on board. And we were just focusing on the match for Argentina, but we didn't know about the match before the Argentina match. So, of course, but going forward, the coach will be involved in every single match we go forward. As a matter of fact, we're going to ask him to describe the type of opponents that he needs in the rebuilding stage.
Yeah. All right, Tiga, let me just welcome Coach Minzy to the show and just ask him to chime in and then Tiga will come back. I'm going to come back to you, so don't lose your point. I know you were trying to interject. Coach Minzy, welcome.
Yeah, man, Mannings, big up yourself, big up Mr. Speed, and big up Lord Mode. Oh, sorry, I mean Tiga. Big up yourself.
The banker, big up the banker.
Hey, the banker, did you want big trial? The banker was that a big trial recently? You know, careful FDM there we are used for the program.
You know, so we have to add some humor to the thing, man. It can't straight get. Like at one point, I see Mr. Speed again. At first, I see him get that way upon a show, you know. Like, you know, I say, yeah, man, because a Cavalier and Mr. Speed, and Mannings have been straight him out, man. So, we have to break the ice, you understand?
Yeah,
but I must clear this up, though. Matthew, I know me, Coach Matthew, but I'm very close to him. Basically, I'm a neighbor. We play ball together and them something. So from
then are you coaching, man? Are you coaching, man? Are you even watching an emulate, man? We think man's so good, man. Nobody try hide it.
but Mr. Speed, I can tell you, he's a very, very good youth again. Trust me. Very, very talented youngster. But it depends on how you plan to use it. But when him come training or if him start already, you know if you deal with that. But I mean, I think you brought clarity to the point of the question that we did ask about the surplus and the debt thing. Obviously, there's donations coming in, but you still don't use those donations to clear the debt. But you still have money around the federation. So maybe basically understand that. I really that many don't have to ask.
No, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to the listeners. A lot of times when we get money, whether it's donation, sponsorship, or grants from the world governing body, it is for a purpose. So you can't use the money there.
To clear debt, right. So that's why we're still in debt, but they still have money to operate. So cash flow is there.
Right.
Okay. So you're saying that FIFA, for example, FIFA give you $1 million for grassroots. You're going to show that you have money, but you can't use it to pay part of your debt.
No.
Okay.
Or you're getting a serious trouble. You have to spend it for the purpose.
That's what you're saying, Coach Minzy.
Yes, that's the point I made, and that's what I understood from what Mr. Speed explained. So the money comes from donors by this for a specific reason. So if the JFF use it to do anything else, they are going to have a problem, especially from FIFA. Because that money coming from FIFA has to be used for a specific purpose, not to clear debt.
Okay, because when you were going through it, I think on Sunday and Cranky was on, he was basically saying that the organization is really broke.
It's broke.
Which is really, they don't have a cash flow problem. It's just that the profit and making is being absorbed by the, yeah.
Right, because of the debt, you would have basically said them poor, but they have money coming in and out that will take care of their expenses, basically, but not the debt. They might have a little surplus they can touch over upon the debt, but not much, right, Mr. Speed?
Right. Look, the debt is, for most persons, the debt is always an albatross around your neck. Right, so, but we have managed to talk to some of the people, negotiate terms, rates, etc. So we're able to survive. But it's a nice little game you have to play. It's a nice little, your finance people have to be on the ball, and you have to know who can shut it down and make sure you service those debts first. You ask people for additional terms. but there is operational money that is for certain things. So we use those to take care of, whatever we have to do. So that is how the JF, we function right now.
You know what would be nice, Mr. Well, sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, man, finish what you were saying, man.
No. Go ahead.
All right. So I want to ask: Is there like you play the game against Argentina? Do we see something to show if the federation made a profit from a game like this to see if it is beneficial to play a game like this?
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah.
No, so tell them, man, you made a profit.
But why you need to see?
No, this guy want to see. I'm just asking.
It is always beneficial, I believe, for the federation to play matches outside of the.
We're losing your coach, Minzy. Okay, so we're not saying Coach Minzy, but no, man, I agree with playing the games, But what I want to know is if the games are profitable, because when you consider that. Go ahead, Coach Minzy, we're losing you a little bit. Sorry, go ahead.
No. So some matches you make a profit, some matches you make a loss. But remember, we need the matches for development. So, I mean, because the aim, if you even make a loss in some matches for the next 2 years, you qualify for the World Cup, what you would have gained would more than compensate. So there's development expenses, which we try not. You prefer to spend your development expenses on kids like the youth teams and try to break even with the senior team. But the truth is really the senior team, earn majority of the money, not necessarily the youth components, the youth teams. So, as I said, sometimes you make a profit, sometimes you make a loss. But in an overall scheme, we have to play those games one way or the other.
All right. This question, Coach Minzy, you back?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, right. You were saying something about the game making profit, and then you weren't hearing it clearly.
Yeah, I believe that more so profit is made of those games that we are invited to. Because as guests of the team that invited us, we are going to be treated accordingly. And like Mr. Speed said, you might not have a profit every time, but for me, I believe the profit outweighs the loss in terms of those games.
Not necessarily. The truth is, some of those games are lost because, I mean, first class ticket not cheap, and and there's a lot of other expenses that that is incurred when we're playing. So it is always best to make a profit, but as I said before, if we break even, we still feel happy. We have to play the games in the FIFA window because that's the only way we can have proper development techniques.
Yeah, two things. Wouldn't the federation that is inviting you for the friendly cover the ticket costs?
No.
Or is it that they say, listen, we're gonna give you this money, you that cover your travel and you have to work?
That's some money, yes. And you deal with the operation. Yeah. That's a fee.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. Yeah. I thought they kind of said big difference because I thought
No, they give you accommodation. Usually you get accommodation and some type of transport to training and
like
matches.
transportation.
Right, but otherwise, and if you go, so most time is match day plus -2. So if you go match day -4, then you have to pick up some at the top. That's what.
Okay. So like Argentina paid for 2 days. If you wanted the next day, you'd have to cover that, the expenses associated with that.
Yes.
What's up, buddy? What's up? Biggest I'm here now.
Anyway, the next thing is that I'm going to take this question on screen. Can you ask Mr. Speed if there is any plans in place for the U17 to be in some camp? That way they can be together enough time before the tournament. Yes. And to add to that, is there any players outside of Jamaica playing that are good enough and will be coming into the team, or are we just going to use the Costa Cup and Manning Cup players?
So yes, there's a plan to have a 1-month camp before the tournament. The tournament is in February next year, I think.
Yeah,
Contrary
February
to
next
what?
year.
Contrary to what some people be talking about, we always embrace any player who can play very well and have a passport.
Wait, what do you mean, Mr. Speed? You know, see, very controversial. What people are talking about?
Money.
Yeah.
Him condescending in some of them approach.
Yeah, the man sound like a TikTok.
You have to have a
Man sound like a
passport.
TikTok. The
Yeah.
man sound like a TikTok
Mr.
coach
Speed, you
Minty.
think you're easy? You think you're easy?
Contrary
Mr.
to what
Speed?
some people saying. That sound like something TikTok would
No,
say.
but
now.
we want the good players to play for Jamaica. We want the
Mr.
good.
Mr. Speed, ready for me again?
We want the good players.
Come, Mr.
No, we
Speed.
want the good players to play for Jamaica.
Well, Mr. Speed, why you have to say it that way the first?
Because
Yeah.
some people, because you know
Some
why,
people who.
coach, you know why?
Eh,
Coach, you know why? May I tell you why?
Yeah.
And people need to hear these things, you know. The last under 20 camp, may I tell you, some of the quality will turn up where people call me night and day and cuss say they must be in the team. Jesus, come on, people.
Mr. Speed, all right, go ahead, Tiga, because
All right, Mr. Speed, all right.
kick back on the one then, Mr. Speed. Go ahead,
All right,
Tiga.
God, back on the thing that you were saying, all right. You were saying that the days of getting people in camp are over, and because the coach have learned to do this. And that approach, if we're going to look at that approach, I tell you this, we're gonna fail again. We're gonna fail to reach our next World Cup. All the teams that you mentioned before, like the Argentina, majority of the players, 50% or 60% of the players have been coming up from youth stages, coming up. When you look at a team like Jamaica, we have players playing in the US, we have players playing in Europe, we have players playing all over the world. For me, if we want to qualify, we're going to tell the coach to coach the players them from take out some players from out of the JPL, have a camp with them and coach them and interject the foreign players. Because if we're not going to have a camp with all of these players coming together trying to get some work, we're going to fail. We're going to fail for the next World Cup campaign. It's just like when we all get it, go and ski for players.
Tiga, may I ask you a question? Tiga, you believe? Hold on there. Tiga, so are you suggesting that if the coach took some players out of the JPL?
And that's what I'm going to do. No, I am just, hold on. Me understand what you're saying now. Me understand what you're saying.
He not finished, man. Remember, remember people have been headset on there, something. Nobody boss for years, man.
All right, cool. I'm saying, no. Coach, someone's coach, Speed. I am saying, Mr. Speed said the coach of getting camp is over. Those days are over, and we have to go. But I'm saying we have different personalities coming from different places together to play football one day or 3 days.
You know what I said around? Get the players them locally and train them and infuse the overseas player them. That's the way you say wrong, you know.
No, but that's a suggestion. Go ahead. Yeah.
The thing that you are saying to have a local camp of players, I don't think anything is wrong with that. Because anything can happen and you have to draft them same players then. But the way you word it, I said the local players them and they infuse the overseas.
Yeah.
That statement.
So Tiga, so here's what you do. That is what I'm going to say to you. You get your best players and you infuse the players that the coach working on.
I am still, I understand that.
Because listen, Tiga,
I am still saying, hold on.
Tiga.
I understand what you have said. Hold on.
Yeah,
me want people explain to me why can't the coach get the players, get the best players there before?
Him explain that already, Tiga. Him explain that already. I agree with the concept. You drop off, all right, get back online. The problem is that Tiga, you cannot get these players that play in the Premier League to come on camps when they have their leagues happening, Tiga. And it is as simple as that.
Let me ask you. You think we can pay for
12,000 US for Shamar Nicholson to come to have a camp, and there's no tournament he got. That's not realistic. Buy a first class ticket. You think West Ham go and tell Antonio, go on to Jamaica for a 1 week camp and miss West Ham training? And you think when those players, after they finish 9 months of football and they have 3 weeks of holiday with their wife and their kids, you want them to leave that just for a camp?
All right, Mannings and coach, I understand all the way you are saying, right? But I'm saying if the players are going to come 1 day and 2 days before a game, we're gonna fail.
Let me tell you why we're not going to fail, Tiga. Here's what we need to do, Tiga. If we play enough friendlies with the same set of players, play them in the Nation League, play them in the Gold Cup, because here's what, players excel when they have more competitive minutes. If these players play a lot of competitive games together, that is sufficient, because the camp is necessary when the players are not as good.
But hold on now.
But competitive games as
hold on now. But
there's only one time, and we have done it, that we can have a camp. Before every Gold Cup, we have a 10-day camp. That's what we have done for the last.
That's right.
Can you put some more air?
The season would have already ended.
Can you put some more air?
But there's no other time that we can have a 10-day camp. As I say, if we're lucky, we might get match day -4. So you probably get 5 days to prepare the team if you're lucky. Because it don't make sense to prepare a team with half of the team. I mean, who wants to prepare a team with half of the team? You want to prepare a team where everybody is present, right, at one time. That's the best way to prepare. So I'm saying to your team, what coaches do now, they make sure they have meetings with them players. Them send things, go get them in terms of what them like to do. Them talk about tactics, them talk to players individually. And when they come together, they put all the pieces together. That's how all of the top coaches do nowadays.
Yes.
By the way, a quick question, Mr. Speed. A quick question. Are the China Wall going to be a U20 coach?
China Wall.
Yes, coach.
Well, I improve everything, man. Just hold on.
So are you suggesting that you're improving on the coach for the under 20 team?
Yeah, we're doing that.
All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Me feel say we have moved from the gale, because you know, so if you have a gale going out, you have to ensure that you put up wall so the gale don't, you understand me, coach? You have to put up a wall when the gale and the winner comes through. You understand? You have to put up a wall so the wall is.
Yeah, man.
But Mr. Speed, let me get back to this under 17 thing. All right, because you said something. You talked about players who came in the U20. Let me say this. All right, the goalkeeper that played, excellent goalkeeper. The centre back, Luke Batley.
Couldn't be the ones man who come play. Who is in the
squad? You're talking about somebody
others where them send. Yeah, them. We're not good. Very good.
But in every recruitment though. To be honest,
we never recruit them. Then it's people carry them come.
No, but people don't take them there to be in the team. They take them there to try and make the team. So if I have a son, for example, and I say, no man, my son can make the Jamaican team, right? You can't knock me because I don't necessarily know the standard.
Mannings.
Yes.
Sorry to cut you though, but I think Neo make a point in the comment section that it's very important. And when I read it, Mr. Speed here about the opaque way recruiting is done and unofficial way. So you have people in the background and recruit that will always have different people coming in. And
who don't meet the standard. Who don't meet the standard. So I think what is happening is that people need to
official recruiting process.
Yes, and then like before the players will come to Jamaica and Mr. Speed, there should be somebody in the federation that if I see a player, I could reach out to and say, hey, I know this player, for them to really decide based on whatever matrix you're using or indices you're using to measure them. Because really and truly, you know, as I just look at YouTube vlogger, me not in a position for talk about me bring player come up here to come try out. I shouldn't do that. I should be able to send them somewhere that before them get to the coach, that recruitment, what me and Coach Minzy is saying, that recruitment board, that recruitment group measures the player, look at the stuff and say, well, you know what, it doesn't make no sense you go training. You can go through. You have to stay out the door. You stay about 3 months. So that is what needs to happen. Outside of that, you're going to have all of these people go straight. In other words, Coach Minzy, there's no strainer. So,
exactly. No sick. No sick.
Yeah.
Right.
No sick. Yeah.
So what happened is that one of the best scouts that you can ever have is other coaches, you know, right? So for instance, if I wanted to pick a under 17 team and I noticed say Cavalier is playing a 16-year-old in the Premier League and Umberland playing one and Mount Pleasant playing one, I wouldn't have a problem blindly calling those players, you know, because for them to be playing at 16, it's easy. If I hear say a player is in the MLS under 16 setup, are in the Premier League under 16 setup, I would never issue calling those players. But if it's a player that, you know, not in any recognized type of football, then clearly you'd have to start try to put him in the sieve to make sure they have a standard. But certain players, you don't necessarily put them in that situation.
Yeah, which is part of the recruitment plan.
Yeah,
If you're at Arsenal, if you're at Liverpool, you get a quote unquote.
You get a buy.
Yeah. You understand? I think so. So that is it. Listen, if it's just like I think when schools are doing it in Jamaica and they're trying to find athletes. If you made the finals at Champs running for Edwin Allen in class 2, that is almost like you must be a good athlete.
Yeah.
You know, if I say that, you know that I made the finals at Champs. You know, I went to I don't want to call any school name, but you understand me, and them said, where is that school? Because it's not a recognized school, then immediately, you know, well, we need to look at you a little bit. But the Edwin Allen athlete kind of get a pass sometimes because you come with a clout.
But if you made the finals, that's a good recommendation too. If you made the final.
Yeah, man. If you make the final, it's a pass that already.
Yeah,
maybe.
If you might make the semi-final now, you have to go under some scrutiny.
It's just like
and plus the time would also be important and critical.
All right. I'm gonna give you a good example. So I coach a team in a competition, and so I went to do the team selection. I'm on where him say I'm a big baller, and him had on a high school jersey. So I asked him which school. And you know which school he mentioned? Him say him play for Edwin Allen. All right, and he never that starter. No, if you go Edwin Allen 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and you couldn't start, you can't. You have to go through a different grouping to make the team. But if you were coming from Clarendon College 5 years ago, you couldn't start. I know the Clarendon College team. But if I the track and field that you to get a pass about his football and Edwin Allen is two different things.
So may have a lot of players turn
up. Football improver Edwin turn up. Be careful.
3 years ago. 3 years ago. That's what I said.
Like, you know, this man a player turn up, say one of the players invite him to come and train. And you know, me not really a decent player, so let the player train. But when we inquire of him, he never play for a club yet, he never play in a no league yet, then probably see him play scrimmage or something. And to be honest, sometimes you find one of them are really exceptional. But it's just hard for you get a personal contract without, you know, when we just never come through the ropes, and you know, and that's what happens all the time in football. You know, so.
What about this point by Duckland saying that this whole recruitment thing is an indication that the technical director is not doing enough to move the federation forward? Because shouldn't he be the head of the whole recruitment of players? Is that part of his role as a technical director?
So let me just break it down in a two. Look here, the senior team, nobody can recruit player for the senior team coach. No self-respecting head coach for the senior team are gonna make nobody recruit people for his team except people that he trusts. So him could hand it over to him assistant coach. Him could decide say he want a panel of people outside of the JFF that understand the type of player that he wants, what he wants to achieve, etc., etc. When it comes to the youth, and I would go further to say the under-20 coach must have that mindset too, right? Because I believe that under-20 is a professional outfit, not amateur outfit. People who play now under-20 team, in my mind, all of them should be professional players if you really want to qualify for under-20 world. The under-17 and the under-15s and the under-14s and the under-13, the TD does an excellent job. He set up his programs to go around the country. Them have trials, them have games that them carrying people in the camp and keep them for a weekend and really look at them before they select teams. So I would give him a pass on that age of 17 down. At the senior level, it usually is not up to him.
Okay. All right, T-God. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
This person named Rudy, no. You're not going to send a schoolboy in the team for the camera. No.
Yeah,
schoolboy. And maybe a few under 20, but no schoolboy.
But want the MLS players be available because MLS to finish?
Yes. And we're trying to win the game. We're trying to win every single game we play from now on. And the next thing that I need to say on your program management that a lot of people don't understand. We're not making your career for you. The JFF will not be making your career for you at the senior team. You, while there'll be one or two really outstanding talent that you might bring along, generally, you have to look after your career and then we'll pick you, generally.
Okay, so this idea that
Mr. Speed. No.
So this idea that the national team is exposing people is
I don't even know where them get that from. Because that's not the case now. The coach and we sit down and we discuss it. No. The coach job is to win games, improve ranking, carry go to World Cup. As a matter of fact, there will be opportunities. There will be opportunities. Let us make it clear. There will be opportunities for a young outstanding player to play in the windows that is not FIFA windows. So, but still, you have to make sure that you are the best there is in a local league, so you can get a chance.
Okay, so non-FIFA window like you're playing against Bonnier, you know, have to send for certain players. You just
no. Non-FIFA window means that those players not available.
Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Right. So in that case, other players will get a chance. If you hear the coach speak, he thinks he needs between 30 to 35 players as a core. I'm sure there's going to be some young players in there, but basically, you have to show your motion first before you get into the national scene.
Yeah. Coach Mills, we're going to say this is where they get it from.
Yeah, man. Mr. Speed knows I ain't met that statement, man. That's why Mr. Speed,
with statement. With statement.
About players getting opportunity. I can't remember verbatim. Let me say it clearly before you start.
Yeah, Mr. Speed, because
no, be careful how you say that. Because
Omar Fuller says speed up backtrack now, you see?
No. People were saying that local players never get any opportunity, and I remember making a statement saying, no, it's 100 odd players top of use in a 5 years, so they get opportunities. But
yeah, man, remember that.
Right, but even if that was the case, yeah, but I'm not backtracking. Even if that was it, you see, one of the things, people must change when facts change, and I'm not afraid of changing when facts change. Right now, whatever we are doing.
Hold on, the pause. People want to get yourself a drink. Yes.
People must change.
Put your hand. Mr. Speedy said, signaling that I am sure sports that he's changing his opinion.
No, I never say that. I say people must change their opinion when facts change, right? So I'm saying
not you. Are you saying that not you or you will change your opinion when the facts change?
Yes, I will. So all
the
I'm
facts
saying,
have changed, so your opinion has changed.
So I'm not backtrack, he might change him opinion.
All right, cool.
I'm not backtracking. All I'm saying, and even myself, I learn more about coaching as we go along. Because I try to get the knowledge. Right?
Yes.
And everybody that have more knowledge than me, when me finish talk to them, me make sure I know everything. A lot of what they do. So the point is, this is what we agree on. Jamaica will not be making people's career. You have to take care of your career and they will pick it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it going forward.
Word.
Well, I don't see the coach. Like, it don't appear, because if I were to judge the game, it's a friendly game, and the coach made only 3 changes. And those are very late in the game in a friendly. So it is very obvious, in my opinion, that his ambition is not to lose, and he's going to keep his best player in the squad and on the field. Just based on how I saw it.
Anyway.
So one of the thing is that
So I can't run Coach Minzy.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah, man, I run. So
if you have that mindset,
cool.
if you have that mindset, right, then even for players at a club and not getting any game, what you really want is somebody who is going to fight for them game and succeed there, because that is the type of player you want to represent the country. So you have to understand how it works, you know. If you set those bars and say, let me see you fight hard, you can't be at your club and then you can't get in and you don't find a way to get in, but you expect the national team to pick you all the time. So yeah, that is something that we all agree on, and that is the way forward.
That's good enough, because I still think, like I said, that the local players have to, especially local players, not just local players, but others overseas. But the local players have to find a way, like I said, to pave their own way. If Kai in Paris can do it, you have to believe that you can do it. And if you elevate your game to those levels, you're going to be good enough to make the team.
But what is good about Jamaican players now is that a lot of them getting contracts to go overseas and they're not in the national team.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
There's a pathway. There's a different pathway. It's not the pathway. First was national team, then you get overseas contract. That's not the pathway anymore. The pathway now.
That is true. That has consistently happened.
So a lot of things change.
Yeah. Tiga.
Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah, man. What is? Yeah, man. We hear you, man.
Okay. Coach.
Tiga. You see, anybody can hear you. Anytime somebody says they can't hear you, tell them they need to go to the ENT specialist.
Okay, I hear you, boss. All right, my thing is this, Mr. Speed. I think we're not sure that we coach your field. You understand? It might not look like that way, but to me it look like the coach is going to be set up the field. Because if I'm going to play 10 practice games to find him best 23 or him best 11 to go on the field to play. You understand? That is just my opinion. You understand? People might say, yeah, foolish matter, but that is my opinion. This is like him a pick up someone to come kick back. Because you have to say, tell the man look good for them on the field. And this is all right. I'm just going to use case in point. So we're going to use a Javian Brown for the wing back. We might say a different player out there can play a better wing back than Javian Brown. But yet still the coach are called Javian Brown, but the coach don't know a next player. Because to him have to keep best wing back. You understand? To him have to keep the best wing back and he want to win the game. But yet still we give him 10 games without a proper camp. Without him to see how inside.
No, but Tiga, you can't agree. Because me I say, all right, let me tell you.
That's why I have 10 brothers, 10 different minds. Right?
All right. So here's why I say Tiga. So Javian Brown is the right back. Let's give you an example. The coach goes to England and he sees Kyle Walker-Peters. And he sees, say, you have Javian Brown, Kyle Walker-Peters, and say Nathan Ferguson. So Kyle Walker-Peters is starting for Southampton every week, right? Why the coach need a camp to include him in his 30-man squad?
So man's man. So let me help Tegan even a little more. I'm just following up on your point. Tegan, if we want a right back right now, with certain characteristics. I put in on my scout and it spit out 10 names give me. I don't even have to look on the player. So there's so much things now that people can use to find. So you spit it out and you look for the one born at Jamaica. And then you can zero on him stats, how much game him play, what is his pass completion rate. You cannot put him up against Javian Brown and say, let me see him compare to Javian Brown directly with systems now. And it tell you exactly who have statistically better. So you can make a decision there if you invite this player or not. So you keep look here, a modern coach. Let me say a modern coach, because I don't know where an old-time coach is. A modern coach have so much things at his disposal that he can use it. First, to find every player who have a Jamaican parentage or can play for Jamaica, so he can query the database and know that. He can query the database nowadays and know if all of the right back or left back or central midfielder. He can put them together. He can match them up with modern technology and see who will do. Suppose he want a right back who defend and not attack, he can put that into and get all of that.
And what the coach says that. Yeah. I remember the coach is going to also recruit. The coach in his interview spoke about identity. Watch the interview. In other words, if you have an identity, then you find the players that fit that. In other words, there's a particular way you're going to play. And that way will determine if Javi and Brown play. You don't necessarily need a camp. So if I'm going to play with three at the back, or I'm going to play with, you understand me, inverted wing backs, it determines who gets called. But if you don't have an identity now, you need camp.
So for instance, again, management.
But management, Jamaica don't have an identity. The coach has a search woman right about now. And that's what I'm right about now.
No, Tiga. The coach said that the first thing, one of his first prayer, that's what I said, well, listen to the press conference. All right, let me give you an example. There was a defensive identity with Jamaica in the game against Argentina.
Yeah.
Did he? Wouldn't you agree that this is the best you have seen Javi and Brown play in his defensive room? No.
Hold on. We're talking about that best defensive. We have Raven Marshall playing center.
Tiga. No, Tiga. Yes, Chief. Tiga.
No, you said the game. No, I am not straight from the point. You said we find an identity in the defense at the Argentina game, but I'm telling you that Robin Morrison was playing center half.
So, Tiga.
Explain to me why Robin Morrison playing center half.
Yeah, what other one? Hey, brother, your wife's full of the
Tiga. So Tiga.
No. Explain to me why Robin playing center half.
Tiga. Hold on, Tiga. So a lot of people talk about philosophy, right? How you're playing philosophy. Some people kind of start to change the term a little bit and call it a game model, right? So it's your game model that you decide to use. Now there's a lot of different game models, and so we had a discussion between some coaches, just last week, and we're talking about if the game model is, you must have a game model for the country. And then some people said yes, some people said no. The problem with a game model, Tiga, is that once somebody see what your game model is, there's a thing then called meta. And meta is the most effective tactic available against your game model. So you have some guys who sit down and look at your game model, look at what works best against it, and come up with a different game model for counter. So what a lot of coaches are saying, yes, you have a basic structure if it's a possession or whatever type of team you have. But in every single game, some people play 1, 2 different ways, sometimes 3 different ways, depends on what is happening in the game. So what they try to do is teach people all the different game models, make sure them understand it, and then pick the one that is best. What I say, a meta is the most effective tactic available to play against a team. So when you see the coach choose a game model, remember say this man is training in Europe in a thing. The man forget more about football than you know. Just when forget you don't even know. So the idea say you are going to question what the man are try to do when him actually get the results by having Argentina just 1-0 up to the 80th minute. I don't know what you're saying. You know what
Hold on. Jamaica was trailing Argentina 1-0 because Messi was on the bench for 45 minutes. Don't forget that. Messi was on the bench for 45 minutes. Don't forget that.
All right. The audio. Just listen to me now, man. I don't know what is happening with the audio. I think because it's in the car or something, but the audio is very because you're loud and the audio. You have to fix the audio. I don't know. It's not sounding as clear. I don't know if it's because you're driving. But let me say this, right? The coach said in his interview, I'm going by what was said, that I didn't want to change a whole lot. We worked on a few things defensively. I didn't want to give them too many instructions, right? Because I am new and I don't want to confuse them and have information overload. So we worked on defensive organization. We got to the game, and all I am saying is that in my time of watching the Jamaica national team, this is the best performance I've seen from Javane Brown in his defensive role. Not offensive, is defensive role. Number one. Number two is that we saw, look at the overhead shot of the team, how they kept their shape, even while Messi was on the field, and how Bowser dropped off in one Argentinian attack. Bowser would come deeper. The next one, Antonio. So you saw the players resting and allowing the next one to track back. You saw that. You saw us start out in the first half with Ravel playing a little higher. As the game progressed, he came deeper for the ball and supported because we weren't playing with a central defensive midfielder. So I don't understand the point you were making about Ravel. Ravel was not playing center half. He was more defensive. All right. So which is a part of what the coach said. The coach said we are going to fix some things in terms of our defensive organization. Number 3, and finally, this is the first game in our last 27 games that we did not concede a goal from across, and we conceded more than 2 goals. And those are facts. In the last 27 games that we have conceded more than 1, we have conceded from across. None of the goals came from across. So obviously, some things work defensively, and there's need to improve, right? But Mr. Speed, Jason is a very good point that he's making, because he's one of those persons who, like I said, he used to work in these areas. He says, he said that while you're in this mood, meaning that you're in a very good mood. He says, please tell him to ensure the ministries are on board on helping the federation to fix the documentation issue for prospective players as well. I think that is supposed to say. And I think it is important because what we hear, which may not be the truth, is that sometimes when a player says, I want to the time when the nationalization process is completed and the Jamaican passport is completed, it is so long. And Jason, for example, is normally of the belief, and all of us, even Ian, who has helped with these things, they know ways, because they have done the process, where and know people that can help expedite it. And I'm thinking, because these guys have expertise, part of the recruitment should have someone who for some players, and this is not to, remember, the players are willing to pay the money, it's not the money, it is the process. For example, one of the things I learned, Mr. Speed, is that if I'm in Birmingham, right, and say I play for Aston Villa, because Aston Villa is in that general area and stuff, right?
and I play for that club. For me to get to London while I play professionally, which sometimes you have to do, is a very difficult process. But there are other ways that it can be done through the ministry to expedite the process. So I think that is what Jason is suggesting, that if there's a way that there could be an arm or an individual in the federation that collaborates with the ministry person. And I'm saying that this is now when we're talking about the coaches. I'm talking about especially the players at the highest level who we know have very small windows. Like, you know, I don't want to... I just call in a random name, all right? Random Ben Johnson from West Ham. I don't want Ben Johnson have to be, oh, geez, how am I going to get my passport? What must I do? Could there be some article, some document with things that players can know? This is the process. Can that be streamlined? Because I think it would help the federation. And I mean, because we like some of the things that are happening, and this could further add to the changing narrative that the federation is trying to put across to the populace. So I want to know if you consider that or take that on board.
Well, as I say, management, the information is just Google. Everybody have Google, so you know what to do. You can find it on Google. But one of the problems that we have, and even recently we picked up player, and he had issues with our name spell on his birth paper, because it look like we have a whole of spelling issue. It's just a S, you know. So the truth is, when I was talking to the person, the difficulty is not that we wouldn't help, but it was finding somebody who could swear that the S shouldn't be there. Because and some of these things you might take in simple, but somebody have to sign an affidavit to say, yes, this is supposed to be the person, this wasn't supposed, you know, that some simple things. Sometimes it's just spelling errors. So it really kind of difficult for some of those things to happen. Just say apply for your normal passport where everything, all of the you know, everything line up. It's easy. I mean, that's not hard. I would do help. But some of them really have issues, you know. So we'll see.
Yeah, Brenton, you can fact check the stats. I actually saw them. I actually saw them before the game, and a deliberate strategy was to ensure that we don't concede that way. So,
hold on,
you can check.
money. Oh, hold on, money. All right. I wasn't hearing you properly, but I was telling you that Messi was on the bench for the first 45 minutes of that game and then get on, right? I was making that point, right? We were saying that it was defensive. We had a good thing, but you were talking about Bowser dropping back, Anthony dropping back, and stuff like that. You know who was instrumental for those players to drop back? It's like they didn't know what to do on the field. You know who was instrumental at telling those players to go back? You know who? Chippy. Yeah, Chippy. Leon Bailey was one.
May I try to figure the point you are making, because, in other words, the point I am making, the bigger point is that this has been one of our better defensive performance.
Yeah, but some of these players didn't know the role they are playing on the field.
What do you mean say they don't know the role they're playing?
They don't know when I see with my eyes.
You are telling me.
Omar.
You're telling me.
Omar,
you're telling me. Hold on.
Eyes, you know. He's when I see with my eyes. It's like the coach give them the instruction what to play on the field, and they were lost. Chippy, Leon Bailey, Bowser. Listen to me now, man. Listen to me. Because I was watching the game.
No, we're watching it. Tiga. You see, when you come on to watching football, let me say this. When you come on to watching football game, you see the man who watch it on TV, see it better.
I understand, which is true. But did you see when Leon Bailey I tell Bowser and Antonio where to play and how to come in? Did you see that? Did you see that instruction when they give them? You see that on the TV?
No, I don't see that on the TV.
So, hold on, man.
No, man, let him finish. No, man, let him finish.
Don't let me answer him. Let me answer him.
No, man, don't answer him now. Let him finish. Let him
No,
finish.
but this is what I'm trying to tell you. Chippy one. I don't want to tell.
What you're suggesting to me, you're suggesting to me because you said that you're talking about the coach's instruction. So what you're saying? Hold on. Which mean I agree with you because Tiga, me ever tell you this. Risk you talk nonsense. Because what you're saying to me and Leon Bailey are coach's side. No, that's what you're saying though, because you're saying that no, I'm never short back. No, I'm never short back. No. I'm not saying you are saying, sir, that the coach not giving instruction and Leon Bailey of your instruction.
No, the coach gives instruction. Listen to me, man. The coach give the instruction, but the players are not playing towards the instruction.
So.
That's what I'm saying.
So Tiga. Well, I just want to make 2 points.
Understand the point you're trying to make.
No, but man, relax. I just want to make.
Understand.
Tiga, you know, say last year somebody teach me that if what somebody taught me one important thing last year, if me not learn anything else in a football, what they told me was that no one man in the modern game can captain team. So it depends on your positioning. You shout instructions for your rest of players. Them depending on your position. So for instance, if the ball lay over on the left side of the field, most likely the right back in the best position to captain the team at that particular point in time. And if you get so if the ball is center forward of it, the central midfielder probably the best person for captain it because the nearer to them and I mean the peripheral or where them are placed. So what you're just saying, every top team know that the captain, even though you have an official captain in the band, who is giving instructions on the field at different times is different people. So if Leon Bailey was giving instruction because he must see the whole picture different from the other player, nothing is wrong with that. So I don't understand what you're saying.
What are the Tiga? Let me ask you one question because people that are Tiga say I understand. But Tiga, let me ask you. So who gave Leon Bailey instruction every time he have the ball in losing?
Nobody else.
Because watch this, Leon Bailey conceded possession of the ball more than any other player of both teams for the entire game.
Right. So Orlando Nicholson say it here. So if that's how it goes, that's how a well-drilled team is.
So
different
he
people
was giving
at
such
different
good
times.
instructions to the team.
No, hold on. You know what you miss the point, or the point we may have to go over here. We may base it off of, right? We may base my argument off of is the camp for the coach and the players can understand it. That's my base my argument off of, you know. And that, hold on, this is where I base my argument off of. You understand? Why me say the coach and the team need more camping so they can get proper organization. That's what I am basing my argument.
It will never happen.
All right, fine.
So why you keep on with it?
Full stop. It will never happen. It's done.
You have any idea why you don't say all-star game anymore? Like I say, players come together and say they play all-star game. You remember Jamaica used to carry Santos coming. All Chelsea come play at Jamaica before, you know.
Man.
Right. Those things, you ever see them things happening anymore? Nobody making your players them. They not even want to come at them much less.
But I'm just saying.
Listen to me, Tiga.
I'm not basing arguments that Chippy coach or whatever. I'm just basing say the coach need time with the players.
So Tiga, listen what we're saying, Tiga. Tiga, what we're saying is that how football is now. National senior teams. We first have to agree on this. National senior teams don't have the time with their national players who play at the highest level to come to camps, except when there is an official competition and there are FIFA windows. Can we at least agree on that and then we move on?
All right. Yes, sir.
All right. So if the coach don't have that, how are we going to create camps 5 days and beyond? Like, which window are we going to use to do that? Give me a suggestion.
All right.
Like, when should we do that?
As a coach was saying, right? As a coach was saying, set up a local camp. You understand? And then if you see few players where get
hold on, a local camp or a camp for local players. Two
a
different
camp
things.
for local players.
Yeah.
A camp for local players. Like for the Cavaliers, the Tivoli, the Harborview, the Waterhouse, and yeah. They can pick some players from out of that team.
All right, so let me ask you this now. So the coach have a camp. So we have a game in November.
Right.
If they start having the players in camp,
Mm-hmm.
and all the players who are playing overseas are ready to play, how many of the players you think in our league right now could be in a starting 11?
So just tell him to go back to the Argentina game alone and tell me why would we keep a camp for weeks to pick one player?
No, but this go back to just go back to just go back to my point for the first time. The JFF picking games without the coach knowledge. And the coach said if he had a choice, hold on. The coach said if he had a choice, he would not play Argentina his first game.
If he had a choice, listen, cool. All right. So fine. So remove Ash. We don't know the point here right now. You're confused, brother. We don't know the point here. So first, let me deal with the camp. So you can deal with the camp thing, Tiga. Let me ask you again. Say we have a game. Say we're not. All right. Put aside Cameroon. The coach select for Jamaica to play right after the World Cup to play against Mexico, to play against let me go to the World Cup side, Switzerland.
Yeah.
Because let's use a Scandinavian nation. He arranges a game with Sweden.
Right.
All right. It's a FIFA window. So he's having a camp in Jamaica with the players. Tell me the players from the local football league who, if all the players
hold on,
man. Let me ask a question now. Tell me the players that if the coach have a 3-month camp and Leon Bailey and Mikel Antonio and all those guys are fit and the Ethan Pinnock fit and the Ravel Morrison fit and all of those guys are playing for their clubs. Tell me the local players who the coach, you believe the coach could realistically call into the team.
But I'm gonna tell you now, I don't know the local players like that. Cause you know where I'm based. I don't know the local players like that. And I don't have the access to follow the JPL like that. I asked Mr. Speed to give me access to follow the JPL. And he never give it. So we can't follow the JPL like that to know all of the players.
All right, do you know any JPL?
That's why Mr. Speed is always vexed.
Do you know any JPL? Do you know any JPL?
Access to follow the JPL.
All right, hold on. All right, these are different. Do you realize that the best players in the JPL at a particular age, what happens to them? When a player is good in the JPL, what happens? What is the next thing? Because listen,
national call-up.
No. See, where is Cephas?
Where's who?
Where is Cephas?
Who is Cephas?
Man, don't argument, man. Jesus. This is torture. Man, this is torture. Man, all of the persons listening on the program, them at them wits end. He got to know nobody. He don't know none of the players. He don't know modern coaching method. He don't know how coach prepare team in a modern world. He don't understand the dynamics of when people play $1 million, them don't even want breeze blow for you. So people not releasing them players. Tiga, come on. In our coaching thing, them telling you about reality. Tiga, don't leave out reality when you talk. Reality. Come.
Go ahead.
So let me go ahead, Tiga. So, all right, so let's leave Cephas. You don't know Cephas. What happened to Kenroy Campbell, who had a good season last season?
Man, you're going to refer JPL players to me when we don't know about. You understand?
You want to have camp. Tiga, but that is the point, Tiga. If there are good, you know about. If there are more good players here, that the coach could have a camp for fine players from, you know them. The fact that you don't know them
Man, if we're going to use local players only in a match, there will be a local player. But if you're going to mix the team with pick the best players available,
the only local players that me know about
Naga.
is the Cavaliers players that were in the national team. Because them are the only one in the national team. Cavaliers players.
No, we don't have the best local players. Mount Pleasant have them. Mount Pleasant by all our good ones.
Are they in the national team?
Hold on.
Hold on, Mr. Speed said something. We just want the answer.
If there's a look, you have Jamai Topi of Mount Pleasant is international.
Yeah, who else?
Demaro Phillips, whenever there is not the best team, is always in consideration. He's in the national team. So no, I just tell the truth from Mount Pleasant.
Tiga, the conversation. What I'm saying though, Tiga, just conclude it. The conversation is.
I go down here.
All right, that's down here because not tell us I'm not familiar with I'm not there to tell you how much JP.
There's a WhatsApp. There's a try Sports Max. They show all of the games. Yeah? Stop blaming me for you not watching games.
That is not for you. All right, so Stiga, so let's leave that and see. What I'll say though is that the coach. You have like Mr. Speed said, My Scout. You have the next one called Instat. That a coach based on the system he wants to you understand me, he can use. But Mr. Speed, Ian, because he was trying to call, but my the phone battery basically dead. All right. He said that he'd appreciate a conversation. I don't know if you have ever spoken to him.
I think I've seen him come up somewhere.
Yeah, but he has he has helped with these things. Very instrumental because he works in the department. So maybe there is a way. I mean, if you want, I can pass on the information. Like I said, the phone battery is dead, so you can because I don't know if there's somebody in the JFF that he could work alongside. Because we want to find solutions to some of the problems. Because
so every team actually have a manager. Every national team have a manager.
Yeah.
And the head of the manager unit is Mr. Rice inside the JFF. So those things is better go through him, not me. Because he's an employee and he's the manager of all national teams. So it is better for those things to go through him, not necessarily.
Okay. So you are suggesting that the conversation needs to be with Mr. Roy Simpson. Is Mr. Simpson welcome into conversations like this from your? Because I really see him in the media.
Well, even if he doesn't, then there's a general secretary who is the person who's in charge of all the affairs. There's not. The general secretary has resigned. We don't have a new one yet. No. But there's somebody working in that position now. Janice Rose Brown, she's working in the position now.
So the new general secretary will be a female or a male?
No. She's working in the position now. She's not the person who's going to be the new general secretary.
Okay.
But I'm saying the JFF has structures, and those are the persons you wanted. Because you see, if you come to me, I will not have the time.
No, man, we're not asking to have the time.
Right. So those are the persons that you should go to.
You must understand, though, Mr. Speed, that in fairness to you, as much as I'll Balakara beat you and all of that, you are the person that we can talk. Some of the times,
him just being, I don't even know what I must say because I am saying that the guy, Demaro Phillips, was one of the best players who came out of the tour that we went.
Yeah, and he was in the reserve in this squad.
And he was in the reserve list. So I'm just
and he has been in the national team before.
Yeah, I don't know what Balakar is saying. I mean,
but what I'm saying though, Mr. Speed, is that though we may not be able to have the conversation with you, you can facilitate.
And I don't want to have the conversation because next thing, if I come on, people say, why me not get the man papers? It's not my job.
No, man. We don't want you to do that. Here's what we want.
So I'm saying the person that they must go through is the general secretary or the manager for the team. Every team have a manager. Those are the people that works full time for the JFF. And
so follow us to Mr. Speed. They work full time for the JFF, but you're the person that we communicate with the most. What I'm saying to you is that, is it possible for you to say, listen, I was on a program, Mr. Simpson, I went on a program called I Am Sport. sports, there's a couple of persons who, from my understanding, they are very good at, helping in the process of documentation. Could you please have a conversation with them to hear them out? That we just asking you to facilitate.
Yeah. When the new GenSec is in, I can facilitate.
All right.
Let us not go to the person who's acting now, because it means that that might just be thrown out somewhere. So just wait.
So we can hold it to that you will try to. Yeah. All right, wonderful. Because that's what we want to do. We want to help to solve some of the problems, So the fact that you'll do that is very welcoming, because that's part of the what we want to see. All right. So, but again, clarity on the money, the issue, the financial statement, clarity on the GenSec issue. Also, we got some clarity on on how the whole friendly games and how monies are given, where you get the money and you have to arrange the tickets and all of that. So we are happy for that. Unseen sports, you cannot like Mount Pleasant as much as you want. Premier League, we go with, right? So and we want to.
He has been saying that for the last 4 years.
Yeah, man. So we read the article Eagle Republic, so there will be. All right. And Mr. Speed, I also want to ask you, because Kasafa just completed their championship and major league, right? Does that mean that if when the tier 2 restart, one of those teams can play in the tier 2?
Well, Kasafa is in a unique position as we speak. When we were designing the tier 2 competition, each parish was allocated one position in the league. So what happened was, and we did say if you didn't take it up the first year, you could take it up the second year. So Kasafa does have a spot that they could just nominate a team and they play in the tier 2 next year. In addition, there's going to be a playoff between all the champion major league teams, top team in the parish. So Kasafa actually could put another team in that playoff and get two teams in the tier 2 competition.
Oh, okay. So they have a spot already. And then they will have one of their major league team to play off that could get a second spot in it.
Right. If they choose to do it, because remember they have said they're going.
And so Westmoreland also have the same thing.
No, I don't know if they played in a competition. You have to actually play a competition to have a shot at.
Okay. And all things are set for the start of the JPL.
As far as I know, yes. So far, yes.
Any new sponsors?
Lots of new sponsors, big ones too.
Okay.
What the people want their day in the limelight, so let us leave it right there.
Oh, the marketing side of the arm of the thing needed. Okay. All right. Game on the November the 10th. So why are we playing a game on the 9th and a game on the 10th? Though they're in two different places. I mean, how the traveling arrangement go now? Because I suspect there has to be a delegation to Cameroon. So who's going to be here with the girls for this important?
No, we have two different. We have two separate and distinct delegation, because if you notice, so we signed off on the contracts with the coaches and support staff for the girls.
So hold on. So let me just hear this, because we don't see these things in newspaper. So you said that everything now is finalized. The contract has been signed. London.
No, it's not signed. We have agreement. Sorry, we sign off on what is supposed to be in the contract. We have agreements. Yes.
Okay, but there's no.
No, they're doing the contracts now. Trying,
Or to send it off to them for it to be signed.
Yeah.
And it's not like a case like we heard with Paul Hall.
I don't know the case that you heard with Paul Hall.
I heard in the news.
I'm just giving you facts now.
No.
There's agreement. I'm giving you facts that there's agreement.
It was reported that
there was negotiation.
No. Let me see. There was no contract, because the JFF, the copy that the JFF have is unsigned.
That's a different thing. That wasn't the contract going forward. That was unsigned. That was a contract to deal with what happened in the past.
Oh, it wasn't a new contract. It was dealing with what?
There was no new contract. That was an old contract that they were trying to finalize the payments. that had one signature. There was no new contract there was no offer to Mr. Hall, new offer.
Okay, I see what you mean. So what happened is that there was something that he signed that the JFF did not sign, but you're still going to pay him the money though that he said was owing to him once he provide the requisite receipts and stuff.
Definitely the finance and him working on that. So somebody just say what have more baggage issue. The women games will be played in Jamaica.
You really answered on that Duckland.
Yeah.
I really want it. Really. No, I'm not touching up with the hearsay, but it's a very important. I was the only signatory for the contract. Yeah, that is what it
but it's a past contract. It's not a new contract.
Yeah, but the JFF are still going to meet the obligation of compensating him for what was done, though.
We will compensate him once we agree on what the compensation should. They will, yes. They have part compensated him already, and they are waiting some more information.
Oh, from him, so they can. Okay, fully understood. All right. So new coach, new assistant coach, new under-20 coach. I mean, what about on the female side? It's just at the senior level. We haven't gone to under-20, under-17 yet on the female side.
But those coaches were in place already.
Oh, so we have the same. Okay. And then the under-17 and under-15 coach remain the same. It's just at the U20 level that we have made some changes. All right. So good move by the Federation. Adidas deal coming, financial statement coming out. Any new thing that you want to share the people from the JFF? New General Secretary coming out. Gambia Mail. You understand me? Mr. Wint situation probably going to be dealt with as well. And anything else you want to share with us?
Well, not really. I mean, I think, as I said before, this year is a year of struggle. Yeah, a lot of time we look incompetencies because we don't have the money. But the finance people work very hard over the last couple months. They bring back, a lot of semblance.
The finance people isn't that you and Mr. Dennis Chang?
You have a whole finance committee. There's Peter Reid, who is the vice chair in charge of. He was the vice president in charge of finance. So yeah, you have other people too who serve. So, and so there is a lot of more clarity on where we want to go and what we want to do. There's people working on projections for next year. Next year could be a better year for us because I know somebody started talking about the Adidas deal, but I mean, FIFA has announced increasing their allocation to the JFF too. People say we do have no sponsor, but it's not true. We do have a few, and always looking to get more. We're looking to have marketing persons in place. So, no man, a whole heap of new things is happening. The Women's League will be starting in November, the end of November. So the return of football to Jamaica.
How will that be done? Will that be each parish will be given a team, or
no, that will be the tier 2. The tier 1 is just the best 10 teams in the country. We'll play in the tier 1 that will start the end of November. The tier 2 will start in January or February next year, which every parish get one team. So all of that is coming on board while we try to bring back football online in all the parishes. So a lot of work is being done. Our talent identification program, FIFA just approved it and approved some money for us to use to get it going to.
Talent identification?
Yeah,
hey, Mr. Speed, we have some mean people who spot talent on YouTube. We know that they really rate we still,
You're right. Let me just explain. Let me explain to you. They don't make you do the talent identification course till you have a B license. All right, so just to give you an idea. Yeah, I really have to laugh. I mean,
Mr. Speed, take paper to identify talent,
Yeah, but if you don't know what you're looking for, how you gonna know? If you don't know what you're looking for, you just remember we look at football. Some today as a spectator, and some today are real people who train for these things. So you can't say if a man train, he have a good idea of what he's looking for. So what we're trying to do is to get Jamaican coaches trained to look for talent. So that is the whole idea about the program. So we're not going to say, see a thing on YouTube, but the whole idea is actually to have people trained, and FIFA decided to fund it. So that is what we're going at hard for the next couple of years.
Okay, but all I'll say is that there should be a subcommittee under the committee, like that serves under the committee that there are some people out there could be good resource persons who can spot some talent, who may not have the requisite.
Again, I said to you, the problem is that you can see a player, and you have seen a player all the time, and you like the player, and the coach just not like him. So when you go recruit him and bring him, come get the coach asks you where you are going at the money. So whoever is recruiting, they must have to understand the coach that they're recruiting for what the coach wants.
Yeah.
Like if you ask me about a player,
yeah.
me also say fast, skillful.
Hey, Boss Thomas, no. Well, Boss Thomas, I say you don't rate me still about Boss Thomas. You always ask me if you play that, if you don't rate me, you know. But you know, any player, I say,
who scored for Mount Pleasant? Who scored for Mount Pleasant? Are you scored for Mount Pleasant?
You don't tell people that you don't spend the propaganda.
Who scored for Mount Pleasant?
Don't spend the propaganda upon the roster.
No, I don't know.
Ask Mr. Speed if he realizes that Christopher Ainsworth absence led to another Calabar embarrassment by Whisper and Casey.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I understand about Christopher Ainsworth is that he never the school would have failed him in some respect. So we're enjoying ask the school why he's not going to school, because I'm distraught that he's not going to school. And the school just didn't take him back. So there must be a reason why the school didn't take him back. So really should be asking the school why did they fail the youth? Not me.
Yeah, that Bridget. Management, can you ask if men are barely getting paid in JPL, how will the women be paid?
Right. So the idea is a good question John Doe asked. The idea, what we're trying to reach by 2025 is for women for us to become semi-pro. So look here, you have to take baby steps. It takes a whole heap of years for Premier League players start get paid, maybe about 30 years. So what we're looking at is a baby step to try to get the women's league semi-pro by 2023. So what we have on board is for them to form themselves into an organization, ask the JFF for the rights, and go out and look at their own sponsorship, just like the men's version. If one of the things about Jamaica is that Jamaica has one of the highest rate of women boss anywhere in the world. So we believe that the women will eventually get sponsorship and able to maintain themselves. Now, women are much more industrious than men. They don't need as much money to survive. So we are looking at starting them out with some salary. Some is better than none. And we have to just take our time and lead up to where we want to go.
All right. Pioneer says, Speed I'm a general, but Speed is sounding like a politician. No promises. No
promises, not less a Pioneer, man. Everything I'm just say something in train already.
Yeah. All right, management, will the administration be following up on the U20s that played currently? Meaning played in the U20 tournament, like Lembekisa, Roberts, Connor Boyce, Clark.
Well, one of them already in a national team. He was with him travel. One of them not travel. The goalkeeper.
No, he didn't.
The goalkeeper didn't travel.
No, I don't think so.
I didn't. Oh. They looked at him. They're looking at him.
This talent program needs some overseas specialists to guide.
Directly, yeah. We have an overseas specialist to guide it. You're right.
Okay. Then Eagle Pro says, can you ask Mr. Speed if we will ever have a national under-21 Olympic age in place to catch some of the players who fall through the cracks?
Now, what we have in the Premier League is a rule that each club must pick 8 players that is 21 or unders on their roster. So we have that rule already in the Premier League, and the clubs are adhering to it. So you'll have 14 times 8. That is the amount of those under 21 players that must play in the league.
That's 32, man. You don't need no calculator for that, man. 32, man.
14 times 8.
Oh, 14 times 8. Oh.
Yeah, 112.
Yeah, 112.
But you have some teams that go far beyond that. So you probably end up with about 150 people that have that age in the Premier League this year.
Ask Mr. Speed why him steal Omari Henry from Calabar to go to Hydel. Me vex with him.
Omari Henry now go Hydel. That's a fake news.
All right. Hey, Mr. Speed, you sound like a TikTok, You see how fake news, that's how TikTok talk,
Fake news, that's not true.
All right.
I don't know where Omar Henry is, to be honest, because if he's not going to school, I would expect him to come around us because we train every day, and he doesn't. But I'm sure that he's not going to Hydel. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, we need to get level where women Fear get paid monthly. And then Leon says a lot of women don't support women football. More the males than the men who do so.
Well, one of the things that we're trying to do is to just copy the men's Premier League from up front, try to get them to get television coverage, play on better fields. We're not going to go to the fields that the PMs used to be playing at first. So basically, we're really trying to step up the game, because if we step up the game, we believe that more people will gravitate towards it. So that's where we are. But there is we even have CONCACAF promised to give us a coaching course for women only. So there's a lot of things that that we're moving in the right direction. Some might take long to start, but it's coming along.
Yeah. All right. This question came in by what? Let me just get some of these. Ask him about about the timing of the 2021 financial statement. Why at this time?
Well, it's late. It should have been out earlier. So we hope to get the 2022 out even earlier next year. So.
All right. What is there a multi-year comprehensive financial plan for the GFF?
Yeah, we have a strategic plan. It was a 4 or 5 year strategic plan. And as I said before, we know that we're going to struggle this year, coming out of the pandemic and what we had to do. Plus, remember, we spent a lot of money trying to qualify for the World Cup. The World Cup qualifiers was very expensive, both male and female. So we're always going to struggle this year. But next year, we expect things to pick up. And we look bullish.
Hey, it's like those things, miss. You don't think like some of those things, if you share like your financial plans with the public, people get on board, and like you see all the information you're giving now, make the people have confidence that you're taking steps in the right direction. And
instead of allowing for you, 14 by 8 equal 32.
No man. I think it's a 4 by 8. What about a more comprehensive? And the next question is, what about a more comprehensive youth league versus senior teams?
Right. So one of the things that we feel at so far, and I'm going to admit that we feel the youths them basically in Jamaica. And I just don't say the JFF, just generally, because if it wasn't for ISA, we wouldn't have any youth football actually playing again. And there's some parts like St. Catherine who did a good job. And I think St. James plays some youth game football. I'm not sure who else, but we now have to make sure. So what we recognize is that I don't know the word for it, but clearly the development of the players will probably be 2 to 3 years behind.
Just go ahead. Just keep on talking for around.
We'll
2 minutes.
We'll be behind the counterparts of the Caribbean. Our football will be behind it, because from the pandemic, a lot of countries have found ways to continue playing the game, but we just stopped for the youths. So what we're trying to come up with now is what you call an elite youth program to try and collect, get about the elite players to play at the under 13, under 15, under 17, and the under 20 level. So that is what we're working on for next year. Yes, the parish youth leagues were compulsory for the parish, but a lot of parishes are not playing it, mainly because they need financial support. A lot of their sponsors just went away during the pandemic, and some of them just didn't come back. So we're really having a problem right now to get back football on track, but it's something that we're working on. Yeah. So something that we keep on, I'm not sure where the female footballers are, but something that we keep on toying with. And we went out of our way to speak to someone. One of the ideas that we have is for us to say get a field, a football field, get a field or a couple fields in a particular location in the US, and then just invite all the players to come here and try. So the same thing that you were talking about, management, is something that we agree with. But we really we have to put it together where we get, a venue, a particular venue in the US, and we ask somebody and they said they would do it. I just need to follow them up again and try to get persons to come to that venue. Maybe 2 or 3 coaches would go and look at the players so we can apply the SIV before they come to the Jamaica and come into the camp. So it's something that we're working on.
I don't know, it's not mine. No fun here. I am sure sport, Mr. Speed, I know there are a few.
Yeah, I just answer him. I told him we're trying to get a camp overseas. Not camp, like a trial. I we spoke to somebody and they said they can provide a venue. So we're working on it. So if it happens, we'll be able to get the age group up to 17 years, under 17, for those people to come to the camp and see if we can look at them. Well, for girls up to 20, but for boys up to 17. Somebody said me let down King. Yeah, you're right. I'll let him.
Yeah, Mr. Speed, the truth is, whether you like it or not, at the end of the day, you have to take some response. Maybe not all of it.
I agree. So let him down. I agree.
Yeah, how is he though? How is he doing?
Good. Me and him sit down and we talk about it. Me and him sit down and we talk about it and talk about
good.
And
listen, it hurt me. I mean, let me not say hurt, too strong a word, but I felt it, like, because I think it would have been a good opportunity, not just for him, but just for the club and for other young players as well. So the question is now, Mr. Speed, if we should play a game in the United States, in short,
still can't go yet. I'm still can't go yet. We have to try. I'm still can't go yet.
Okay. Somebody saying that wind is in the mic. All right, so let's see. But a lot of questions have been answered.
We can't. The surfaces. We don't have money for upgrade surface. What the JFF is trying to do, as we did with the one that we build already, is try to build another one. Probably 3 more if we can around the country, but like we have at the Captain Burrell Technical Center. But general surfaces, we don't have enough money.
Yeah. See, somebody's asking, will you think he'll be able to play in the Gold Cup next year?
I'm sure by that time we should be able to get him stuff. We're going to try and get another date for him to go earlier.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to see, but I know Ian trying to call, but the phone battery has died, so I can't even facilitate.
Yeah, MLS team have interest in a King. Everybody have interest in that.
Okay. All right. So let me see this other question. What are the expectations of the football in public, and what is the JFF doing to create interest in the football program in the diaspora? That is coming from somebody in the diaspora.
Right. So as I said,
and do not call the people diaspora. They are not diaspora. They are diaspora. Right?
As I said before, one of the things we're trying to do is to have this annual trials in the States, somewhere pretty central, so everybody can come there and we fly up a couple of coaches, maybe 2 or 3 coaches, to look at them and see if we can identify the talent and do what you suggested, use the sieve from that point. So it's something that we're actively working.
But here's what I'll say though, Mr. Speed, is when it comes on to female side of football, the United States to me is way ahead of Jamaica.
Yes.
Especially at the youth level, because I mean, you know this. I mean, they probably have, because it's funny, because most of the nations that played like in under 17, under 20, some of their better players came through the American system, like Dominican Republic, Haitian players, Costa Rican players, Honduran players, El Salvadorians, and Mexicans, right? So there is, I'm not saying that in every era, but like for female football at that level, that's a good place to probably look, especially because we don't have steady leagues going for younger female, except for schoolgirl football, which is, you don't have all the school participating, very few girls playing, and just certain schools of high quality. So that's something that we probably could look at.
Right. No. We agree. But remember, we can't, you say development is something that we have to make sure it's happening in our country. So we agree. And I just told you one of the plans that we have to try and source, get some of the better players overseas to represent us. But basically, we have to do our development, and that's what we're working on. So the tier 1, the tier 2, bring back the school girl, and we're going to a grassroots female program where we're going to play under 13 and under 15 competition. So all of that is untrained for us to, and we do have some money. It's really if we set it and make it start up.
Mr. Speed, what is your Speed opinions on players asking for jerseys, being fans rather than competitors? Is this allowed at Cavaliers? Like when the players go to main.
Look here, Ranjin, I hope when everybody say this about me, when you just say my personal opinion, Me personally believe, say if you reach there, so you lose the fight, you lose already because you don't say you're not equal. But you can understand how some people think. But I wouldn't think like that. Anybody Cavalier play, even if it's my friend team and them in a lower division, I tell the Cavalier player no mercy. Just dump them up any amount they can score, score it. No mercy. That is how we operate.
So let me ask you, Mr. Speed. Like when you see Wally Downs and he was coaching at Mount Pleasant, do you go beside him and take selfie and ask him autograph and stuff?
No, I just want to do one thing to Wally Downs. Beat him every time. I'm motivated.
How national coaches and players do them things?
I don't know, but nobody ever see me do that. Ever. I just want to beat you. That's all. And all of them. So you see like Mount Pleasant.
You're saying to me like if you and Pep playing a game, when the game finish, you're not running to get him autograph.
No, if him beat me, if him beat me, vex same time. Vex. Anybody beat me, I plan revenge for you next time. That's all me. I mean, I thought go do what? No, sir. So for instance, you say like how your team buy all of the big ball of them now.
All right, boss. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's like how you have the Galacticos.
Yeah.
Me a sharp now, because that's the only thing we can do.
All right. Is there interest in creating an advisory council in the diaspora that would liaise with the Jamaica Football Federation?
Look here, we always want to work with people that want to work with us, but we have some unfortunate experiences. One day I remember talking to somebody and saying, we're having some issues with some of the girls' team, and we might have to scout heavily in the US because we're having some issues with finding visa. And I did leave a voice note, and then I hear the voice note all over the place. So sometimes you kind of wonder, what is the deal? What some of these things, the people take it too personal, and you wonder if them really are trying to help. So, a lot of time we have to be careful how we get into partnerships with some of these persons who
all right, I understand that though, but if I'm going to go that path, you see, this is where now I made things public. So it's like how you said that now. You said that, listen, I'll come out publicly. We're going to see if we can reach out to people in the diaspora. You send a letter to the person, let them play. In other words, you make it public because there's nothing to hide. I think sometimes you have to do that. You have to beat people at their own game, Mr. Speed. Yeah, we have to beat people at their own game.
Yeah, but why
not
we have to play?
Not because one person. Not because. In other
Why
words,
we have to play a game? Why we have to play a game? You come and say you want help. Don't help.
You come and management. For example, I say I want help, and you come on my channels, I'm a beat you, but that don't mean you shouldn't go on the neck. Because I could be the bad person. So the person you spoke to did that could be the man. The person who did what they did could be the bad person. And it's just unfortunate that your first interaction is with the wrong person.
And it might not be him. He might send it to somebody in good faith and any person.
Either way, even if they sent it to somebody, that is not right.
Yeah.
So it's still, you understand me?
Yes.
That is the point.
Meditation. Yes, women.
I'm trying to get this person
if we decide to start
so that they can speak to you because they're trying to reach out to you. So just hold on, let me line this up.
So if we I need to answer. I don't want this person to think I'm a sexist. So let me answer the question. What exactly
do you mean by women are more industrious and do not need as much money to survive?
Yes, in a Jamaica context. In a Jamaica
context. You're mute, Mr. Speed. I'm not hearing you.
I'm mute. I'm not mute. I'm not mute. Unless you mute me.
Yeah. Check.
Now?
I'm not hearing you, know. You
I'm
hearing
not
me?
mute. No. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Ian? All right, I'm hearing you, but I'm not hearing Mr. Speed. So let me figure out what's going on right here with this guy. You're not hearing me, Mr. Speed?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes.
Oh, all right. The people are hearing you, Mr. Speed. Go on talk. I am not hearing you.
No, I'm just saying that.
So go on talk, man. As long
In
as
a
the people hear
Jamaican
you,
content, I'm saying in Jamaican context, yes, women are much more industrious than men. They make ends meet much
all right,
better
Ian,
than
soon
men.
come
That's
to
all
you
I'm
here. Let me
saying.
see.
So I think they will be very grateful for any amount of money that they get to play football. So it's not that we have to start at a high level to say they have to get the same pay that men get. That's the point I was making. They can get less as a start because now they are getting nothing. So, but I'm not backing down that they are more industrious than men. They are. They can make do with much less money than men. Oh, and just to say, the JFF does financial statement every year, not every 2 years. They have to do it every single year.
Check.
I'm hearing you though. I think what has happened now is that our website is not up. We're really redoing our website.
Mr. Speed, I still not hearing it. So go ahead and just see if we can
Our
respond.
website is not up. We're doing we have to do a new website.
What's going on?
We have to do a new website that will handle more commercial. We'll be able to deal with more commerce type of business. So the 2020 accounts will be posted on, I think it will be on our Facebook page and some of our social media pages. So you could see it there, the 2020 account. Man, them say you must leave and come back. All right. So I don't see any more question. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a modern website because we need to be selling jerseys and paraphernalia, more interactive with the public. We should be able to post up our games, etc. on it. So we're trying to really come back with a bang. It's something that we really want to do because, as I said, we're trying to improve as well, and we don't want to be in the same position all the time.
Check.
You hearing me now, man?
Not hear it.
You hearing me?
Not hearing. Let me see.
But me I hear you.
If I can do this.
Yes. We know. But we have to take things slowly because it's gonna cost us, to build a website. We're actively looking at different persons making bids to build a website. So that's what we're doing now.
All right, Mr. Speed, you hearing me?
Yes.
All right, so I am hearing you. Ian Colley. I don't even know how this is going to work, but let me see if I can do it this way, just for the sake of Ian, and then we can close out. All right. I don't know what is happening, so let's see. We have to go back to the good old way. All right, Ian.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Mr. Speed here. You hearing Mr. Speed?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Ian, just ask what you're asking, and then I'll let Mr. Speed respond because we have gone back to the good old, the good old way.
Well, no, I was just thinking of the statement that many players are trying to obtain Jamaican citizenship. So that even to play for a national team, they face challenges in acquiring documents, primarily because of issues with spellings, and it's a common issue with several players. And when that happens, usually the Jamaican missions will But normally, the players don't fully understand where to start in having documents amended. So I've been trying to assist several of them to have these documents amended via RGD and essentially getting them to have a complete application to submit to the High Commission in London, right? So that's something that should be known, that many players are frustrated at times in trying to acquire documents to apply for Jamaican citizenship. And in many cases, players are committed, but the system is a bit frustrated. Frustrated actually, right?
Okay. All right, Ian. Good point. I'm going to let Mr. Speed respond and then you can just listen because I think you already, I saw him writing down like he was taking notes. All right. All right.
I'm not taking notes. I mean, I've gone through the process. Not for people that live overseas, but when you try to get a passport for some players, because they only had like the red bird paper before, they didn't even have the new one. It's kind of difficult, but it's kind of getting easier and easier. The problem really arises when there's mistakes and spelling error, or they can't trace down certain people, and you have to go back to your primary school. So I understand a professional player might not be bothered to go through all of that steps because, I mean, I'm earning him money and you really have to play for Jamaica. So, yes, it would be good if we have somebody who can help with that process. But as I said before, I don't want to be the person who take it up because I'm not going to do a good job at that. Once we have a new general secretary in place, if you can give me the person, is Ian, you said the person name?
Ian, yeah, Ian Campbell. I can send you I can give you his contact.
And I pass it on today and make the introduction. So
let me do that right now.
Both himself and the manager can speak and see if he can help.
Right. That's what we want to do. We want to create some solution to some of the problems. Then you saw Duckland, I don't know, because Duckland go every JPL game. Duckland same him build a website.
Duckland is all right, you wanna let me just take him up on the offer. Duckland, send me the price. Send me the price. Send me the what you call it, the proposal.
All right, so I'm going to send Duckland. I'm going to send him Mr. Speed number so you can get him email.
No, you give me email. You give me. So now you have no excuse now for sending it. More you give me email. So
all right, I'm going to give him Mr. Speed.
I want it in a 3 days time because we are gonna meet and decide who do this website.
You hear that, Ian? So I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you Mr. Speed email address so you can write. You can go ahead.
Eagle Republic, the original bird paper can't use now, so it don't make sense.
All right, one more call. Let me see. This is the man who is he is, we have an attorney on YouTube. We have investigators. We also have on YouTube. We have our own accountant, and so let's see if we can get this caller going right here. Let's see, trying to connect with this caller right here so they can come on and let's see if we can get it going here, Mr. Speed. Well, let me take this comment in the meantime. Hello? Yes. Yes, Cranky. Yeah, man, I'm doing fine. Here with Mr. Speed, your new best friend.
Cranky, how are you?
Go ahead.
So, Cranky, before you listening to me?
Hold on, Cranky. I don't think he's hearing it. I'm not sure if he's hearing you. I am hearing you. I'm not sure. So let me just do this right now, and he should be hearing you. All right. So just I am telling you, Duckland, you're an engineer. You're an engineer, Nuclan? Because I need an engineer.
You say my jack of all trade.
All right. I am not hearing Mr. Speed. No, that is where everything.
No, I wasn't speaking. I wasn't speaking.
No.
That's
So
right.
let's see.
Well, Leon Price was saying, oh, no, I mean, look here.
Hold on a
I
sec,
have,
Frankie.
in
What's
my
going on with this thing
personal
today?
business or when I'm in charge of anything, I've always used, even at Cavalier, I've always used some of
All
these
right.
problems.
I don't know. So
No, I was answering Leon Price that I've always used.
I am not hearing. I don't know.
No.
Cranky, go ahead, Cranky.
So my question to him is, finance director has indicated that they had a surplus. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, he's hearing you.
His finance director has been espousing the view that they have a surplus. He's going to say what year? It's 2020. But if you look at the balance sheet, it is not optically pleasing or substantively pleasing. In fact, the numbers are not good. So why is he communicating that information to the general public? I think the JFF, at the point in time he's referring to, were in a good financial situation. But frankly, they were not. I can't hear him anymore.
All right, you hear that, Mr. Speed?
I kind of hear him, but let me say I can find the accounts, so I can read it.
All right, so he's going to, you hear that, Cranky? He's going to find the accounting statement.
Let me see if I can see it.
Crank, I'm going to try and, hold on, let me start it out and call it.
But first, tell Cranky say, I remember him saying that why the netball team had issues was because me have some affiliation to the netball team, why them have traveling issues. Cranky, I'm not affiliated to the netball team in any way.
All right, I'm trying to do that, Jason. I think he's driving. I'm going to send him the link. So Mr. Speed, just give me a sec. Let me sort out this thing. I don't know what is going on. I mean, first lightning and thunder, then this is going on. I don't know. Let's see if we can get it going. Check. All right. So yeah, man. Yes, Mr. Speed. I'm hearing you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to find the statement. So let me see if I can. I don't know if Cranky will be able to. Cranky, if you're hearing me, if you can come on, you don't have to use video. You can just use audio. All right. If you can just do that, if you can, and then I will. Yeah, let us speak with Mr. Speed using audio alone. So I just sent you the link. Yeah, you're trying to find the statement.
Yeah.
It's on the GFF Facebook page, you know.
I think it's there.
Yeah, man, it is there.
Okay.
I think he was asking the question that you were trying to answer earlier about the time period and stuff.
But I mean, I don't know what him asking. I want to ask him, why did he come on your channel and say that the reason why the netball people had travel issues is because I'm affiliated to them? I heard him, you know. That's what I want to ask him.
You want to ask him?
Yeah, but him say it on your channel, you never hear him.
That the reason why,
the netball people have travel issues because me affiliated to them. Insinuating that I was affiliated to them.
Oh, he says he can't join. Okay. No. So he's not able to join, and I don't know what is going on with my. Yeah. So why am I not able to connect? Yes. Yeah. He says he cannot join. So let's see if we can get this going some other way. But you found the statement?
No, I'm not finding it.
Just go on the GFF Facebook, man. It is there.
Yeah, but I don't even know what question him ask still, so I'll probably waste my time anyway. All
right. I'm gonna have to sort out this. I don't know what is going on with it. and so. But listen, I mean, it's always good to have you on. I think he was just giving problem though. As somebody said that he was just being sarcastic with the whole. I see Cranky laughing, so I figure he was probably just yeah.
Yeah, but he might make some people believe him. All right, so I'll find a draft. So let me just look to see what the draft says. Total comprehensive income, Cranky, for the year, if you look on page 2, it had a positive 3.9 million for 2021, and for 2020 it had a positive $15.7 million. So I think the chair was saying that the chair was saying that over the last 2 years he made a profit, so he would have been correct. But we did say that if you look at the accumulated loss, it was 132 million. So there was an accumulated loss, which is different from current losses. So I think that was what Cranky was talking about, but I think we did clear that up before.
Yeah, I think you did in the earlier part, where you said that the profit and cash is two different things. I think that is that explanation. Cranky said, don't know if you got that part, but I think even Coach Minzy, so I don't know. Maybe later down in the week I can have you.
He was saying talk to the balance sheet, but the chair of the finance committee was definitely dealing with the profits, Cranky. And looking at it, there was 4 million profit in 2021 and 15.7 million profit in 2020. And he did say he made about 20 million profit over 2 years. So he would have been correct to say that. That wouldn't have been misleading. From the business inception to now, yes, there's an accumulated loss of $132.7 million. That is true. Accumulated deficit. So no, I don't think any of you was wrong. Neither you, if you're looking at balance sheet, or the chair.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Jason. For those persons who don't, Jason is going to post the link so you can go and look at the financials. You can post it, Jason. Not a problem. Cranky says, the income statement only tell part of the statement.
Sure. And nobody, no good accountant look at income statement. I mean, you look at it to see what it make in the current year, but the real state and affairs of the business is really the balance sheet. That is a camera shot of what the business looked like at the end of December 2021. That camera shot may not even be the same that the business look like right now. So we understand that clearly, but we report accounts in historical sense, and that is the historical record. So at that point, that is correct. That don't mean it is still the same now. We understand that.
All right, so people, listen, Mr. Speed came on way beyond his time, 3 hours, 50 minutes, so we're going to run. But I am going to have a next conversation. I'm going to bring you back on and to make sure you are very, you have gone through that, because Cranky have some very tough question, and he is in that whole field. He's like you, so he's going to go through it with what they call a fine teeth.
Yes, Jason Gula. He's a pitcher. He's a pitcher at December last year. Now we're in October now. It could change since that time. And that is our country.
Well, thank you for coming on, Mr. Speed. Really appreciate the time seeking to clarify as much as you can. Always a pleasure having you on the program. Enjoy the rest of the day. All the best to Cavaliers finishing around outside on the top 4. Mount Pleasant winning the Premier League this season.
The Galacticos.
Don't know what you want to call them, but we know who winning. You understand me? But I appreciate you coming on as usual. And thanks again for all the clarity. And I must say that there are some things happening. And I hope there can be a progression of change. And from here, it's good reports we're hearing, because I can tell you this. We only need one bad report for the narrative to go back to where it used to be.
So why you think we have good news to give you about the genset this week, and we have good news to give you next week? We have our next good news to give you next week.
We don't know yet, you know. We're waiting because if it is someone from the old guard that becomes the genset, then the people could be riled up. So let's see.
So I'm going to give you a hint. It's not someone from the old guard.
I was.
Enjoy your day.
All right, Mr. Speed, much respect. People, here you go. Listen, thanks to every single one of you as well for coming on. Really appreciate your time and your company. It was a good show. Listen, re-listen it. There's a lot of information, new under 20 coach, all of those things. Game on the 9th, game on the 10th, a lot of stuff revealed. The breaking down of the accounting though. Cranky wants to put in some challenges, explanation of a lot of things. Mr. Speed changing his opinion because the facts have changing. Well, suggesting that he's changing his opinion about players and all of that. So that is also interesting, but very good show. Really enjoyed your company. It's always a pleasure having you on I Am Sure Sports. And so I encourage you, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the platform. Also, hit the like button. If you have not done so yet, share also the content with someone else. I am Management. At this point, we normally say we are over and we are O-U-T out of here.
Boom, check it out. I don't know it's Jason. I'm a represent for I Am Sure Sports. For the latest news and updates, check out I Am Sure Sports. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe and share. Jason representing I Am Sure. I Am Sure Sports.